Hey everybody, welcome to Comic Book Curation. I'm Polly, and joining me as always is Inquisitor Quiz. How you doing?
Spider-Man as fuck.
It is Spider-Man as fuck. This background is great. And joining us as always is Jack from Bad Comic Reviews. Jack, how the fuck are you doing?
Not bad. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing okay. The Spider-Man as fuck reference is because I have this scene in OBS labeled as Spider-Man AF, or because you didn't know, this background that we use is from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends from 1982, 1983, I can't remember, where he, the super hot Firestar, and the totally not gay Bobby Drake, otherwise known as Iceman, all lived together as college students. In any case, yeah, Spider-Man, it's labeled as Spider-Man AF for Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, so I always think of it as Spider-Man as fuck. So how's everybody doing? Looking down here at chat, a bunch of people are all here, which is awesome. Got Shady Grin, Della Hayes, Matta Winter, Rotten Corpse, Ryan Walters, this is Kyle, TOS, Gulf City, Cult of Krill wants to know everyone's talking about Zack Snyder's circumcision, the Zack Snyder cut, and we'll get into that. Don't you worry, Krill. Grizzle McThorn body also hates Mark Ruffalo. Well, that's a sound judgment. Hey, Angela. Ryan Walters and BG, Matta Winter. What the fuck is an Alan Moore? That's a great question. What he is an overrated man who worships bundles of sticks in the woods, and people still appreciate a graphic novel he wrote a long, long time ago. Raymond Lewis.
Which is more than can be said for the guy who nearly drunk himself to death and wrote a really, really, really terrible sequel to an amazing 80s action movie.
That's okay. First of all, what Inquisitor is referencing there is the inimitable Frank Miller, comic book legend and writer extraordinaire. Also, one hell of an artist. The genius behind the genius behind 300, behind Sin City, behind The Dark Knight, the man who single-handedly reimagined Batman to the grim, dark one that everybody loves and has been overdone.
Daredevil.
And Daredevil.
The most amazing artist of The Dark Knight 2.
We don't talk about that. You know what's at the bottom of too many bottles of scotch? The Dark Knight 2, okay? You know what? But, okay, Mr. Know-It-All. Have you read Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, after he stopped drinking?
No, I haven't.
Well,
I've only read the first one.
You haven't even read Dark Knight 2?
No, I've just seen images from it. That's enough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It is pretty bad, as we've talked about before. The art is just... I don't even try. I'm not gonna fanboy for anybody. Even Frank Miller, who's like my favorite comic book creator of all time. That comic is just bad, laughably bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's not more. Well, is it Morte bad? You think? G.I. Joe Morte?
Maybe.
Oh, it's not that bad.
I don't know.
It's what's his nuts? The dude that did the psychedelic Silver Surfer that we laughed at you for.
Oh, what was his name? Thaddeus? Thadder?
I don't remember what his name was because he's awful.
Yeah.
Was it Silver Surfer Black?
Yeah. Silver Surfer Black, yeah.
Silver Surfer African American.
Silver Surfer Black as fuck! Tradmore.
Tradmore, yeah. Where did I get Thaddeus from?
Because he seems like a pretentious dickbag.
Oh, shit.
I was say, man, I don't know. Alan Moore has good writings. And he has... Yes, because he's a writer. He's not an artist.
Well, just the way he said it. I mean, that's very Elizabethan.
Yes.
Go, Alan Moore.
He teams up with some very good people that are excellent at etchings.
Yes. Run and get thy writings. Return with thy scribbles, and we shall...
I still amuse you with my poems.
So you were saying Alan Moore and his poem scribbles?
Yes. Alan Moore is very good at writing. Yes. He's also written some garbage. But at least he doesn't have the horrible track record of inventing something really cool with Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Returns. And something so laughably terrible as All-Star Batman and Robin.
I still don't think it's that bad. I think it's misunderstood.
It's an incredibly cringeworthy disgusting pile of garbage comic
Well, son of a
with
bitch.
amazing art.
No.
With amazing art.
Look, you say that, but you've clearly never read Alan Moore's Supreme run.
No. I
Yeah,
haven't.
it's Silver Age Superman, but owned by Rob Liefeld.
Okay, now I've never read it, but I heard Supreme was actually pretty good under his. Are you making fun of it, or what do you?
I thought it was at best Silver Age crap.
Okay, I heard some people say it wasn't bad. But I've never read it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People have weird tastes. Plus, since it's Alan Moore, they defend it a lot. Like Lost Girls was just weird porn.
Yeah, it's just straight up
And-
porn. Yeah.
Yeah, and parts of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it was just weird sex stuff.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, for Christ's sake, load! God damn it!
He just likes porn comics. Who doesn't?
I was gonna type in chat to a few people. Chat, if you're wondering whether people are like, "Hey, Polly," and it's like I go to type and just like "Hello, Angela," and no words are appearing as I'm doing.
H.
Yeah.
When is H going to show up?
Exactly. No, more like I typed out the whole thing and I'm sitting there staring at the text bar and I'm like, are the characters ever going to appear? Okay, I guess they're not. All right. I'm running at maximum CPU usage.
Mm.
There we go.
Oh, what's the update on the potato?
What
Have you
about
gotten any more pieces for the new space computer?
it? You know, I found out about, it's funny you ask. I found out about hard drives in terms of what I needed to know just to be able to make some kind of vaguely informed choice quite quickly. Same thing with CPUs. Not a deep dive, but enough to be able to figure it out. Video cards as well. But when it comes to motherboards, fucking hell, man. There's so many things and stuff and ports and plugs and the like, where it's like, I'm buying one just sort of because it's on sale at Newegg. I'm not really able to make an informed choice on it. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's look at this because when we were talking about Thaddeus Moore, people were who, or maybe they were talking about Alan Moore saying who. Either way, make fun of Trad Moore.
Oh yes, Brad Moore he's an artist.
Yeah. Okay. So here's Silver Surfer Black. Chat. This is actually the director's cut of Silver Surfer Black. And they actually do that with comic books. They create come on.
Meaning there's no editorial process in it at all.
Yeah. I mean, when you come on. Look at that super. Here we go. So you get a sense of the kind of art that Trad Moore is into. Other artists praise him, and they're the only ones because, yeah. I mean, look at this stuff. Remember this?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That's if you're on acid or you want a '70s album cover.
Yeah.
Then it's perfect for that. Beyond that, it's garbage.
Yeah, this is great for an art student as a pinup poster or whatever the fuck in their dorm, so they can stare at it like a blacklight poster.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Okay. I need to nip this in the bud right now. No artist is going to look at this and say, oh man, that looks really cool.
No, they do. They do because they don't want to do it, but they, artists are artists. So they look at somebody else's art and they're like, wow, man, he really freed the line and broke the mold.
No, only pretentious assholes do that. And those people are usually want to be artists, not actually artists.
I bought these. I bought all 5.
I know. We made fun of you for it.
Shut up. It's Silver Surfer and he's awesome. It's interesting how the synchronicity on this relates because we're talking about Silver Surfer today. I mean, it's how years I fall, for years, slowly I heal. Cosmic awareness spreads. I search for signs of life past those in the primordial wastelands for help. It's actually not that bad of a story. The problem is not at all the writing. It's this fucking art.
Yeah.
Where is his junk? People have asked that about Silver Surfer for a long time. Is he like a Ken doll? Is he just smooth? Because he gets into this relationship with Nova. And people, and she's like, another herald of Galactus, a female. And And they start this little kind of like romance affair sort of thing as they're comrades, and then they do the whole romance thing. And it's like, yeah, but he doesn't have a dick. People joke about that. It's like, okay. She's smooth too, you know?
I imagine he can make it appear, like he's like liquid metal or something.
Go cosmic penis.
Yeah, like the Terminator, the T-1000 could change shape. Maybe he could do that, make his junk appear.
Okay, first of all, I never pictured the T-1000 growing his own dick, but thanks for that mental image.
I'm here to help.
And
Now
like,
picture him as a giant dick chasing John Connor, and his legs are balls.
and he's screaming, "I'm gonna fuck."
Hold on. Picture the T-1000 chasing John Connor, but his legs are balls.
Yeah, his legs are in a giant scrotum, and it's just the testicles running along, and he's a giant penis. It makes that movie a lot different.
So here's to show here's a way to show that I don't take myself entirely too seriously. Stop going through Alan Moore's writings, dude.
What? You're flipping through the parchments and reading his feather quilled scribblings, are you?
I'm just saying that theme song to T2 would be a lot different with my version of the movie.
That's not even been written yet. I mean, at least we have RoboCop 2 to tell where where Frank Miller's writing is at,
Hold on. So what? Dun 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 dun.
No.
What?
Guns N' Roses song. You Could Be Mine.
Yeah.
It's just a giant penis chasing. It sounds really rapey.
Well, John Connor's underage, man. It's rapey in like a very little Epstein kind of way.
It has a little like one of those paper hats that the ice cream guys used to wear. No, the arms are not pubes, Ryan. They would just be like tendrils flailing around trying to grab him.
Hold on. Where does Billy Kincaid with the fucking ice cream hat come into it? What do you?
No, it adds a creepy factor because he probably drives a white panel van. I don't know.
Is that one written by Alan Moore or Frank Miller, for that matter?
No, I don't know. Maybe, but either that or my brain went to a dark place. And no, Evolved, I didn't forget any medication. I'm like all the time. You should know that by now.
No, he was created by Todd McFarlane. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so the Holy Reaper says, wait, Quiz has a YouTube channel. Yes, he does. And do you know what's not on Inquisitor's channel? Any of the content that should probably be there, like, 40K painting streams, which he does over on the Minions, and that's fine, but does he repost those links as part of a playlist? No, that would make him competent. Does he do his own 40K lore streams, even though it's really popular on YouTube, and his knowledge is second to none in the area? Well, no, that would make Inquisitor competent. Jack and I bug Quiz on a regular basis for an explanation of that. But like, come on, man, do some content on your channel. You've got all this great 40K shit you could be doing. And does he do it? No.
No, he's out having a grown-up job.
Yeah, right? Working. What a chump.
Real quick, over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Cryptic. Dude, give me a high five. I stole this cash from a dying COVID patient without getting caught. Just for you, buddy. Thanks, man. There's your high five.
Thank you, Evolved Potato, for posting all of our links. It's appreciated. Okay, where were we?
I should probably bring that up, shouldn't
I? You Ryan, have the COVID?
Yes.
Oh.
Ryan said now he's going to dream of metallic penis spots chasing him. You're welcome, buddy.
Man, we are going. Okay, hold on. We have referenced several things that we all talked about before we went live. Stop it.
Well, okay. I want to address one thing before we get too much further. Giant balls inside of a sack running down the street, metallic or not. He's not going to run. He's going to roll, no matter what he tries to do.
Or hobble.
Hey, look, you're overthinking it.
I'm overthinking it. Okay.
Yeah. You're overthinking the giant testicle legs in the scrotum chasing John Connor as he rides his little scooter, because it would be a moped in my version of the movie.
For Christ's sake, we've all seen that movie. You saw how fast John Connor was going on that little fucking scooter / moped, whatever the fuck. And then when they're escaping the mental prison institution, they're driving in a police car. They're going fucking fast, and the T-1000 Robert Patrick is like high speed. Now you picture these two testicles going thump 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 inside of a sack down the street. He's gonna roll, bro. He's not gonna be able to maintain upright.
And
So, are you saying you could?
dick too. Think about it that way too. I mean, every man just crossed his legs.
Maybe he's doing the worm. Did you think of that?
Okay, Ryan Walters, get Far to draw. This Far is not going to draw giant testicle leg T-1000. She's not going to.
Look, and instead of changing, like how he takes on different people's personas and that, instead he just puts on a condom with like a police uniform on.
Okay, so before
Well, I derailed this stream really quick.
Well, okay, I'll tell you something. Quiz just referenced, before we went live, we were talking about some things, and we said we're going to get back to, and we didn't because Jack's weird. And and it's true. Okay, so these guys were busting my balls. Speaking of balls, about
Yes.
oh yeah, you're probably the kind of guy who buys adult coloring books. Okay, now listen, I don't own any adult coloring books. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna
Borrow them?
say what?
You borrow them?
No, I torrent them and then print them off for free. Are you crazy? Why? What the fuck have you been up to?
COVID. Oh.
Now listen, let me listen. So you're stuck babysitting a nephew or a niece or whatever. Let's be honest. There's only 3 things that you're going to end up doing that you're going to want to do. You're not going to want to do a fucking tea party with your niece or whatever the fuck. The little girls want to do that dress up bullshit. You're not going to want to do that. There's only 3 things you're going to want to do. You want to get them into some actually cool cartoons from the 80s or 70s or whatever, right? You're going to want to color with them, or you're going to want to play Legos, because everything else is bullshit that kids want to do.
Look, I am a delight at a tea party for one thing.
Really?
I will wear the boa and the tiara and be like, "Oh, this is a lovely cup of tea."
See,
And
that's
then
what
we'll
I'm not
pretend
willing
to
to do.
princess.
Like, get into the let's pretend with kids. I mean, if I'm ever babysitting nieces or nephews, it's like, look, kid, you got 3 options. We can color, we can watch actually good cartoons, or we can play Legos. That's it. Pick.
All right, listen, kid. This is a 9mm. I'll take you to the range here in a little bit. We're gonna go on a little.
But first, the safety course.
Right?
Usually, if I end up being around children these days, it's some chick I'm trying to bang. So of course, I'm going to try and impress her kid, so the kid loves me, and by proxy, her mom will like me more too. So I'll play dress up or whatever, play tea party and do that dumb shit because I'm trying to bone her mom. It's only fair because I'm going to ask her mom to dress up in weird costumes.
So you have to be willing to do it too. That's fair.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
can appreciate
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a give and take relationship. You'd laugh at my boa. Well, you'll be wearing a schoolgirl outfit later.
I,
This kid's got a bedtime at like 7, right?
wow. Okay, so how long have we been streaming for? And we haven't talked about a single article.
I don't know.
You
got me off on topic on some other topic talking about testicle legs, trying to think too deeply into a one-liner.
Oh yeah, speaking of testicle legs, we got I gotta go grab that Mark Ruffalo story. Fuck Mark Ruffalo, in case I haven't reminded you guys.
Yeah.
Hollywood scumbag.
So how many adult coloring books have you borrowed?
You mean you purchased from perfectly legitimate sources?
Yes.
Well, I did get that one about the Gumdrop Wonder Unicorn Land. That was a pretty good one.
Please tell me that you are the guy who goes around with the Disney coloring books and like makes Jasmine from Aladdin wearing a full burqa and has Aladdin carrying a burning American flag and like.
No, I'm not that guy.
No.
It's rolling back.
Oh,
here.
it's quiet.
You know what? Doing Noir Bar last night, I noticed that. Excuse me. Even though I'm voice capturing from a Google Hangouts for where all of us are, my mic is still at a separate volume. So, chat, if the volume of Jack and Quiz is lower or higher than mine or whatever, let me know. Because
I just told you you're quiet.
oh, did you?
Mike said it in chat. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
see. Because last night I'm overpowering Dax and Far. You can't trust the OBS levels. That's how I'm leveling it out. According to OBS, we're leveling out at the same point. They should be basically equal. But
Well, how I've noticed is that you've got to monitor the clipping on OBS for it to matter.
Can probably get just a little bit further from the mic. Is this better? A little bit of ASMR. Yes.
Oh, it's creepy.
You need to move from left to right now.
Does YouTube support stereo?
Yes.
It does?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. YouTube supports stereo, but your microphone doesn't. They have specific microphones for ASMR that allows for left and right ear. And you want to get into the weird side of it too. The actual microphone is shaped like human ears.
That's fucked up.
So like these ASMR people are like chewing food and like slipping and slurping and like all this kind of stuff in your ear. Yeah, they're doing it like in front of microphones shaped like ears too.
Oh yeah, the binaural recording, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. You're not down with the binaural beats? My whole SoundCloud's
No.
done binaural. It's fucking fire. You got to go check it out.
Hey, you want to buy my mixtape? My mixtape is fire.
Well, you don't need to buy it. That's available for free download. That's how I promote. Yeah, it's my local shows where I clean up all the mad cash. Okay, so there, I got the Ruffalo article open. Let's talk about something I really don't give a fuck about one way. Well, I'm going to share for y'all's first.
Mike, put the thing on the toilet and piss in stereo.
Yeah, Angela says actually I kept listening to Noir Bar this morning, you kept fluctuating too. You know what I got to work on with my mic? I got to figure out some way to make it like, when I turn away from the mic to do shit over on my laptop that I'm running all of this on, it's, hey, all of a sudden I'm talking away and then I turn around to the mic and then number one nowhere is like, Jesus Christ, Polly, fuck, you're too close to the mic. Yeah, I hear you. I got to figure out some way to get that better. I got to get a shotgun mic and just like hang it above me from like a boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I say how I tend to do it is I just have it sitting all the way across the desk from me, and I have the gain turned up a little bit, so it doesn't matter how loud I talk or how soft I talk, it's going to pick it up.
Or alternately, you get a helmet, like a construction helmet.
Yeah.
Put duct tape a bar onto that with the microphone right down so that every time you turn, it's consistently in front of you.
And dangle a carrot from it and then get on a treadmill.
And then you have a snack too. Yeah.
A snack you'll never get to. Why would you want to do blue ball fucking treadmilling?
No, because when you fall down from passing out, the carrot will hit you right in the face and you can eat it.
But you passed out.
It's not my job to come up with the logistics here. I'm the idea guy.
You wake up with the carrot on. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So you wake up to a vegetable treat. That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
Article capture. Boom, there it is. Batwoman star Ruby Rose exits the CW series. Batwoman star Ruby Rose, who plays the title character of the CW series, will step down from the role after just one season. Step down? She was fired, in my opinion. I was watching Midnight Edge's review of everything that had happened, and he offered his opinion, and I find myself persuaded. Yeah, she was fired. But let's see.
Well, it's funny because like I remember Batwoman. My first exposure to Batwoman was not in the comics ever. Like she never showed up in any of the Batman comics I ever read. My first exposure to her was the Bruce Timm movie. Was it Secret of the Batwoman?
Uh-huh.
Where Batwoman was actually 3 Batwomen, one of which was Kate Kane.
And they were all locked in a lesbian love triangle.
I think one of them was Kate Kane was a lesbian. The other 2 were straight.
You can't have a lesbian love triangle with 2 straight women. What are you talking about?
Well, apparently you can with Harley Quinn now, but that's neither here nor there. Let's continue on about Ruby Rose.
Yeah. And Pete says Ruby Rose is cute, in my opinion. Yeah, she is cute. I mean, she goes for the butch haircut, but there's no question she's a cute girl. But I still believe that she's going to marry a man. Let it be said now, so Polly can be seen as a crystal ball gazer and he predicted the future. I am not certain that she's entirely the gay.
I'd like to make her a ball gazer.
Yeah, absolutely. She's cute as fuck, man. And
wasn't she a bisexual?
Well, that's what I mean. She says she's a bisexual, and I have no doubt that she's into girls and whatever the hell. I mean, go to porn. What do you see? It's just 98% of it's a bunch of straight girls making out with each other because they're paid to. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's very few lesbians in porn, man. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's like when you and your girlfriend call up an escort. They're not really into chicks. You've been there. You know what I'm talking about.
Ruin that for me, Polly.
My documentary collection says otherwise, Polly, but we'll have to agree and disagree on this one. Like, I would bang her, but at the same time, like, she says she's non-binary now or some stagecraft, I'm sure it's all stagecraft, but
someone just called us all homos.
Okay.
Is it cute? She looks like an anorexic Justin Bieber, you homos. I am not I like thick women. I like the thin gymnast ballerina body. I like women in general. I don't understand people who say I've got a type. Like, Jack's the weirdo that's got to be it's got to be a thigh gap Asian of this particular size and this particular boobage and this particular. I mean,
I feel kink shamed now.
Well, then I will consider my mission a success.
I like athletic Asians as well. Don't get me wrong, and I occasionally make exceptions for people of other ethnicities. It's not 100%. It's just a 99.999, and I feel very judged for my freaky kinks.
Oh.
I think at the end of the day, Jack is very much if the hole is wet and has a pulse.
No, I don't like no fatties. There's a weight limit on my ride.
But apparently, they're always attracted to you, though.
Yeah, well, I'm cool with that. Everybody's got their thing.
See, because hold on, let me explain the rest of my theory about this. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And it's not even a theory; it's just speculation, guesses. But I want to be known as being right. She's going to marry some guy in the future, and and Unholy Reaper says she's bi and gender fluid. Oh, I'm not surprised that she doesn't describe herself as being all the things, because she's legitimately bi and she's in Hollywood, and there's a lot of success that could come from claiming all the things, right? I'm surprised that she doesn't. If there wasn't a social justice prohibition about it, she would claim herself to be transracial. Her PR agent will claim her to be anything that is promotion worthy. Full stop. In my opinion, right? I think it used to be like a thing like back in the day. So and so was outed as being gay. I think people are going to be outed as being straight in years to come.
Yeah. Well, I bet she'd drive her face down onto Kathleen Kennedy's crotch for a role as a Jedi in the next Star Wars.
And she can't be translational. That wig is way too straight, Polly. Come on.
Okay, so Sinatra steps in and says, "Why so quiet?" For fuck's sake, goddamn volume levels are never fucking cooperating with.
I noticed he shouted too.
Quiet.
Okay, there. I turned me way the fuck up, and Jack and Quiz accompanying Lee's. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit better. Yes. All right. And I also have this booming stentorian voice, so I've got to be careful that I don't fuck the mic up. Anyway, we were talking about gender fluid Justin Bieber here.
Yes.
According to the Hollywood Reporter, Rose will step down after just one season in the CW series. She did not provide a reason for her departure. Warner Brothers plans to recast the role, as the show has already been renewed for a second season. Batwoman is slated to return for a full season sometime in January 2021. Here we go. This is a quote from Ruby Rose's tweet, message, whatever the fuck. So, in other words, the crap that her publicist wrote for her that she said, yeah, whatever. Quote, I have made the very difficult decision to not return to Batwoman next season. This was not a decision I made lightly, as I have the utmost respect for the cast, crew, and everyone involved in the show, both in Vancouver and Los Angeles. I'm beyond appreciative of a whole bunch of people that Polly's not going to name, but for welcoming me into the DC universe. They have so beautifully created. It's totally not an under-budget show where the executives take a lot of money off the top and then claim that they need that budget to keep the show running. Thank you to some guy and some other guy and the teams at Warner Brothers and the CW who put so much into the show and always believed that I was a true lesbian. Thank you to everyone who made season 1 a success. I am truly grateful. There you go. Warner Brothers Television, CW. Oh, yeah, here. Okay. So here's the thing. Midnight's Edge made a big deal out of this response because from Warner Brothers, or from the CW, Warner Brothers, etc., that it really sounds like thanks, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. It sounds like corporate speak in that way. Let's see if you guys take the same thing away from it as he did. Warner Brothers Television, the CW, and Burt Lanty Productions thank Ruby for her contributions to the success of our first season and wish her all the best. Okay, we're done talking about her now. The studio and the network are firmly committed to Batwoman's second season in the long-term future, and we, along with the show's talented creative team, look forward to sharing a new direction, including the casting of a new lead actress and member of the LGBT community in the coming months. So, right away, they made it very clear that, straight women need not apply. Don't get excited. You don't have an opportunity here.
Is Batman just not able to have a live action TV show anymore? Did Adam West's version of Batman ruin our chances of having a live action Batman TV show?
Yes.
Because I mean, he's got movies, and we can debate, about whether or not you like them or they're as good as the other ones or whatever. That's purely opinion, right?
Right.
And people are allowed their opinions about those. But Batwoman now, here's the one thing that trying to be informative here to the people watching, something they may not know. This is the second time, at the very least, that there has been a live action TV show set in Gotham, and Batman is nowhere to be seen.
Because the rights are cheaper for the other characters. Until it came under the DC house, a lot of these shows were farmed out to other companies, and they couldn't afford the DC license for Batman because he was tied up with the Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah, but the Warner Brothers owns DC, and by extension owns the rights to make whatever TV shows they want.
No,
the rights are broken up more complexly than that.
It's way more complicated. Just like the Star Trek rights and Spider-Man, they can't just do their own thing anymore. But they're starting to get it all back under house thanks to AT&T buying them up.
Well, I thought that all of the rights were still DC didn't farm it out like Marvel did because DC never circled the drain like Marvel did.
They did, but they did license stuff out so that it was exclusive. So Bruce Wayne Batman was exclusive to the movies because that's how they got Christopher Nolan to do it. So they couldn't do any competing stuff. So that's Warner Brothers locked that in and said, all right, we're doing Batman here. That's it. And that's no more. So if you want a Gotham show, Batman's not showing up till the very, very end.
No, I agree with Raymond Lewis. Wasn't Warner Brothers just wanting to use the Batman character for the big screen and all the side characters would be on the small screen? Generally speaking, that's my impression of it.
That just seems like a really bad idea.
Well, I didn't say they were smart.
So long as they make a half-decent show, like they did with Arrow. Like if they made a half-decent show with Batman, it'd be top of the ratings all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, I realize you like Green Arrow a lot, but he's a side character. I mean,
Well, no, Green. The reason why Green Arrow was so easy to do is because he doesn't have the big brand name recognizable villains. The rogues gallery for Green Arrow is like 2 or 3 people. That's the reason why 99.9% of the first season of Arrow's villains were all Batman villains. There's a reason for that.
Well, I just don't think that they want to take Batman and have to dump the budget into it. I mean, have you ever watched if you ever watched like Supergirl or anything? It is hard to watch. Like the budget is so fucking bad. The young adult aspect of it, it's clearly aimed at kids, and it's executives taking a fuck ton of money off the top of the fucking budget. The budget's clearly not going to the show.
You'll notice that
shows have gotten to be that way. They never started out that way. Arrow's first, I want to say like even 5 seasons, were all really, really good. They were told like, detective crime, vigilante fiction, and it was really good. It wasn't until they started replacing all of that intrigue with social justice and trying to use cutthroat CGI in lieu of story, because of the success of Flash, that they actually started tanking their own shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well.
They're trying to bring it all together because now they're doing the streaming service where they were for a while. That's why Batman appeared on Titans, and that's why all these other shows are melding together. They had the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, so they could wedge the universes together. Because originally Supergirl was on CBS.
Yes,
it was, and then it was moved over to CW, and that's why the budgets look different. They had a different budget for CBS than they did over on the CW.
Yeah, and so I'll say this: the CBS budget was bigger, and you could tell, and they had better writers, and you could tell.
Yeah, but except there was way more social justice crap on CBS, but that's why they moved a lot of that over and unified the writer pool on those.
It's funny because the first season of Supergirl was actually pretty mild when it came to that kind of stuff.
She was like a 5-year-old dude.
Well, they had things like Kara gets all righteously indignant because again, I watched these shows. I watched in the past tense, by the way, but I watched these shows and I actually really liked the first season of Supergirl because they really tempered the social justice bullshit in it, right? Because you had like the part where Kara's boss dubs the moniker Supergirl. And Kara, being Supergirl, is sitting there getting all righteously indignant. And she goes, "Why isn't she Superwoman?" And her boss turns around, looks at her, and says, "That's a really stupid idea."
That's another character. Thank you.
Yeah, well, no, it's just like everything about the show. It screamed middle, like it screamed moderate. Whereas after it went to the CW, it screamed straight up social justice. And
I don't know, man. It's okay. Yeah, some of the shows are like that, but when we're talking like a fucking massive slate of shows, and every single time I've tuned in, it doesn't take but 50. Like, I don't watch those fucking shows, and you have, okay, but I'm saying I've tuned into a bunch of them, and like with the exception of like Daredevil, but even that, it clearly had a young adult audience in mind. That's who it's aimed at. It's all very simple. Everyone's worried about their friends, and what are people going to think about me? Oh my god, I have to help them. You stabbed me in the back, and it's man, all the content is young adult. All the dialogue is young adult.
Yeah.
No, not really. There's some of them that are more egregiously bad when it comes to stuff like that. Supergirl is definitely one of them, but Arrow really wasn't. Flash became that.
I'm going to go watch Arrow now. And it better be some fucking Stone Cold Street level grit from the way you're describing it.
First 5 seasons, dude, Ollie is a stone cold fucking killer. He runs around murdering supervillains.
All right. Okay.
I'm just saying, man, the first 5 seasons of Arrow were really, really good. But the later stuff and it all came down to the fact that it was successful and they wanted to spin it off. And at the time when it was happening, that was really cool. Like when they first introduced Barry Allen before he became the Flash on Arrow, that was a really cool nod. The people that read the comics sit there and goes like, holy shit, that's Barry Allen. Is it the Flash? And then later on, when they actually announce that there's going to be a Flash TV show, at the end of the episode, when Barry Allen appears in Arrow, they have a scene cut to Central City when he gets struck by lightning and becomes the Flash.
All right,
So
so
that-
we were talking about lesbians. Let's continue doing so. She-Ra and the Princesses of Power did what the Legend of Korra couldn't. Yeah, pull in an audience. I mean, She-Ra had better ratings than Legend of Korra, and She-Ra still had terrible ratings.
Yeah.
I mean, lesbians and they look like teenagers and making it a core queer romance is an integral part of the show's climax. She-Ra and the Princesses of Power makes a vital statement by Brandon Zachary Cuck Galore. I mean, a vital statement. It was very important. Was it good? It was important. Did it actually, grab an audience? It was important. Like, no, it didn't. The answer is no across the board. No one gives a fuck. It was a final fuck you.
Yeah, it was.
Like, there it is, the big lesbian kiss. Like, oh my God, women finally have representation that are lesbians. Like, fuck off. Nobody gives a goddamn about your show, so you were trying to fucking include something where everyone would applaud you and you would get some free press out of it, like you're doing right now, CBR.com. You fucking frauds.
At least it's not an exclusive.
Now, we knew this was coming since the beginning because that Noelle Stevens weirdo.
Yeah.
The final episode of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power bring the romance between Katrin and Adora to the front and center of the show. And here's how She-Ra and the Princesses of Power and ending on such a conclusive romantic note is so powerful, and why the legend of what the Legend of Korra failed to do. They walked off into the sunset holding hands, so it's like the Legend of Korra, they're lesbians, right? No. They actually showed them kissing. Hey, fuck that. Do we want representation or not? I want to see some fucking bean flicking. I want to see some butthole licking. Are these women lesbians or not? Women who aren't lesbians fucking kiss each other on the cheek, and you might get a peck on the fucking lips. Unless I see some clit licking, I don't fucking think that there's anything going on between them.
Look, why did they just spend 5 minutes to have the characters throw out DVDs of the original show and take a big steaming shit on them? Because that's what they were doing.
Well, need we go back and look for the what was it, 2016, 2017, 2018, whenever that show came out, all of the stuff that Noel Stevens was sitting there saying, like, if you don't like it, then it's not for you, and you guys are just blinded by nostalgia. You were not taking away your She-Ra in making our show, you big man babies.
Well, okay, Raymond Lewis points out that Buffy the Vampire Slayer did the lesbian relationship better. Like a long ago enough that you can claim a whole series of firsts and generate a bunch of garbage articles in current year that are going to trend. And we need free fucking promotion for our garbage fucking show that's a completely unimaginative reimagining of some nostalgic material. It's like you said, Quiz, people, you're just mad that you're not getting the same old show back. You fucking fraud and your disingenuous argument. The only reason you're working with She-Ra is because of its brand name recognition.
Exactly.
It's the only reason you're fucking with it. Otherwise, you would have created an original series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not just create Princesses of Power as its own? And it's like, it's She-Ra : Princess of Power, and it's like, no, princesses, we want a whole bunch of women because all women are equal and important with each other, and then there's these two lesbians, and then they're fuck off.
Yes, Princess Slay.
I mean, it's so clear you're fucking with an established franchise, an established brand for the name recognition. It's so clear you're including things for the obvious purpose of doing it. It's so clear you redesign the characters in a weak ass Steven Universe style of art, oversimplified. She's now a teenager to be aimed at kids, because this is the most you fucking frauds can come up with, because you're a bunch of fucking hacks. Remember the man bun wearing moron that was behind that show?
Look, Polly, it'll all be set right with Thundercats Roar.
Oh, you mean the show that mocked a voice actor's death?
Yes.
I don't know. Unholy Reaper's like, fuck, Polly, tell us how you really feel. This kind of shit just gets me upset. Like, if people are like, what, you mad, bro? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
There's
I
nothing
don't
wrong with
understand.
being mad.
I have never understood how that's a thing. It's like, if I get you mad, then that means I've won the argument or whatever the fuck. And it's like, well, you're really getting mad over this. I'm not saying you're saying this sort of thing on Holy Reaper, but it's like, people are like, oh, you get upset with it. What? It's not. Yeah, I get mad at fraud writers using hack arguments to defend their bullshit. Why? That's infuriating for any reasoned mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you're lying to me. You know you're fucking lying when you say that. Why don't you just fucking call me a racist at this point? You know what I mean? Use some other fucking disingenuous arguments. How about just you suck at your fucking job and you're overpaid? Whose cousin are you? Whose dick did you suck to get your job? Anyway,
None of that's wrong. None of it's wrong.
She-Ra Princess of Power is over, and they jam some fucking lesbian shit in it and reference some other lesbian shit like Legend of Korra in there. And like Quiz and I were talking about the other day, congratulations, your Legend of Korra was not popular at the time, but it is popular online now for creepy Rule 34 shit. Well done.
I would say some of it's okay. It's not creepy, but there's no.
Oh my god! It's just, Jesus Christ, man!
I go on ACO to try and find thumbnails for you. I mean, I can start saving some of the Legend of Korra threads if you really want me to. There's a daily one on ACO, which is, by the way, adult comics and cartoons on 4chan.
What?
Matt Winter says, if you watch the uncut last episode of Korra, they did kiss, but Nickelodeon cut it as it was, and hear me out, a kid's show. Well, I was talking to Jack Quiz before we started about this. It's you know why the writers and the producers and the people behind this stuff have come up with these brilliant ideas? They're like, well, it's a kid's show. So? Like, I hear you, Matt Winter. I hear the point you're making, but like, let's ask the question. So what? Why can't you show two girls kiss in a kid's show? What's the problem with that? Why can't you show two guys kiss in a kid's show? What's the problem with that?
Because there ain't no time for that. They're being chased by a giant penis monster from the future.
That doesn't know fear or pity or remorse and won't stop ever.
No, it only knows erections.
Man.
The reason why it's weird to show is because, your kid's going to say, like, eventually, like, why are there two boys? Why are there two girls kissing or whatever? Why are these two in a couple? I thought boys and girls, etc. And it's like, then you got to explain to your kid, well, sometimes some people, etc., etc. Yeah, all the people writing this stuff and behind this stuff, the social justice weirdos, they're childless weirdos. They don't have kids, so these things never fucking occur to them. I mean, I don't have kids either, but I don't want to have to explain to a kid how two guys fuck or two girls fuck, how it makes any fucking sense. Why are you even talking about fucking to kids? Why are you even including this romance beyond prince and princess level, really vague shit? Oh yeah, let's get two women involved in a fucking relationship together and try and make some kind of fucking sense out of this. In a child's mind, good luck. Childless weirdos write this shit who are looking to promote their oddball fucking worldview to kids.
Yeah, see, okay. Polly and I talked about this a little bit recently. He and I have been, whenever we get the opportunity, we stay up in the middle of the night with way too much time than we probably should spend watching the G.I. Joe live stream from Hasbro, watching the old G.I. Joe cartoons, and just providing color commentary.
Been watching it. I only started like a week ago, and I've been having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
and then they pillow fight.
Well, we provide a colorful commentary on Discord. It's hilarious. But now the one thing that he and I talked about, and I think it might be prescient to bring it up, is the fact that some of these stories, even that are designed for children, can be surprisingly complex and can show adult themes and subject matter and situations to a kid that doesn't necessarily talk down to them and doesn't need to, because children, I think, are smarter than you give them credit for. But there's a difference when it comes to like existential planning for the future and how you want to live your life, sort of philosophical questions, and the logistics of butt fucking. Right?
Okay.
Well, here's a list of things we're going to talk about, kids. Planning for the future, financial management, death, responsibility, butt fucking.
Jesus
You
Christ,
see what I
what
mean?
is this? Coach Red Pill's channel? What the hell's going on?
Well, you see what I mean is the fact that, like, you can, a kid can sit there and parse those sorts of abstract concepts, but when you get down to it, is a child ready for the talk about literally any sex and sexuality? The answer should be no. An adolescent would, but a child certainly not. I don't think they're ready for that sort of development. And they're just simply not. Children are not ready for that. At a certain age, yeah, maybe. But stuff like for children's content, they shouldn't be addressing any sort of sexual relationship in it. And like it or not, the crux comes down to the fact that the reason why lesbian and gay relationships are different, inherently different than heterosexual, right? And this is coming down to the actual nitty gritty of why people would say it's a bit more acceptable to see that, is because, like it or not, to reproduce, to have a child, you need a man and a woman, right? That needs to happen. So that's a hate fact, I know, but that is going to be 99.9% of all children's experience, is that they will have either a mother or father, whether separated or together. They'll have a mother and father, or they'll have to have explained at some point that they had two sexually dimorphic parents. That is going to be a thing. So when it comes to homosexual or bisexual or whatever sort of relationships that you're going to be cramming into a children's show, that is inherently linked to sex, regardless. There's no procreation involved in homosexual sex at all. So if you this shouldn't be controversial to say.
I don't know. I could hear 1,000 SJWs screaming in the wind.
I'm just saying, man. And there's nothing wrong with gay people or trying to show gay people, but there is inherently something wrong with trying to explain sex and only sex for the pleasure of sex to a child.
Look, when a mommy and a daddy love each other, the feminine penis goes into the masculine vagina, and then they make squishy sounds and wrestle, and that's how babies are made. See, let me talk to your kids about sex. It'll be fun.
Okay, so speaking of squishy things and talentless hacks, Trump accuser Stormy Daniels is in a raunchy superhero comic.
Is it called Orange Man Bad?
Well, I mean, you see the supervillain here, and you're like, or what I'm assuming is a supervillain. Tidal Wave Publications' new satirical series starring Trump's accuser Stormy Daniels will be Barbarella meets Star Trek meets Stripperella meets Talentless Hacks. Now, we've all read comics for a number of fucking years, right? There's comics. What? It's true. And we've all come across the weirdo oddball comics. Small publication houses will always publish weird shit for the sake that, the big two won't publish it. Like, and they just want to do strange shit. There's always been that way, from porn comics to like adult comics that are still made to the fucking day, to really sexy comics like Zenoscope stuff and, all sorts of shit. None of them are written up on CBR. Ever notice that?
No.
It's the AOC comic that's written up on CBR. It's a Stormy Daniels comic that's written up on CBR. You're talking about a fucking used up whore. You're talking about a used up fucking whore that got played by Michael Avenatti, who played the mass fucking media, and you're still rolling along with it because I don't like Trump. I mean,
dude, to call the president a used up slut is pretty rude, man.
All I gotta say is, holy shit, everyone avert your eyes right now. The T-1000 is on the screen right now. It's in Stormy Daniels' hand. Dun 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 dun. She's gonna start walking off of the ridge of her hand.
Stormy Daniels, the adult film star who made national headlines by alleging a sexual encounter with President Trump and the attempted cover-up in 2006, is the entire reason that we're writing this article about this trash comic that won't sell any copies. By the way, did you know there's an AOC superhero comic? Fuck you, CBR. You're obvious, transparent, and that's why we're talking about your article, to mock you. You fucking frauds. I mean, weird comics there are out there. There's Jack, you know what I'm talking about. There's just dozens, hundreds, thousands of these fucking things. On weird
Jungle Fantasy.
Yeah, Reagan's Raiders as an example. Like, it's just it's an odd comic that has, you know, Ronald Reagan as a fucking, you know, he gets a version of a superhero serum, you know, kind of like Captain America, and becomes a superhero out there, you know, retrieving MIAs and etc. It
gets better than that. I mean, you've got Barack the Barbarian, where he's effectively a Conan character, and he fights Sarah Palin.
See, I mean, odd, strange ball.
I'd read that.
Comics.
I'd read that.
Like, it's just okay. Yeah, and every other goddamn thing you can think of, from weird sci-fi shit to body horror comics to every fucking thing. Why are you talking about this obviously low effort trash? Look at the fucking art. Because fuck Trump. That's why. Fuck you, CBR. And yeah, I'm flipping double birds at my screen right now. I just, God damn it.
I have to ask Polly, scroll up a little bit. Is this an exclusive?
No, it's a TLDR. They might have fucked off with the exclusive thing. That's like 5 times in a row you've asked that, and I would assume it is, but nope.
I was saying, man, and maybe they're watching us.
Daniels described the series as all satirical. Of course. You mean you're not actually a superhero? Oh, shut up. I mean, you realize she's a fucking escort still, right? A stripper still?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's still attempting to, quote, work the future of e-thoughts and Vader V. You know, look towards your future. Here it is.
Well, that concerns me, actually, because if she's still stripping, if she breaks a hip doing that, she's done, man. That's awful.
Yeah. And Unholy Reaper
she's pretty old.
Unholy Reaper says, why am I reminded of Stripperella? Because it's specifically described by Tidal Wave Publications as being Barbarella meets Star Trek meets Stripperella. Just garbage. This will not be the first time Tidal Wave has worked with Daniels because they're just that desperate. Previously, it published Political Power, Stormy Daniels, which details Daniels' claim that the Trump then personal lawyer Michael Cohen paid her hush money to keep her quiet in a legal battle that resulted in the allegations. Yet, really? Did it get into the whole thing about Michael Avenatti and the ridiculous fraud that he was and how much money he fucking stole from her and how badly he duped the entire mass media into bringing him on 5 times a week to talk about his baseless fucking claims of his client, and then turned out to be a giant fucking fraud himself? And that he duped this miserable whore to going back to fucking stripping in her 50s?
That just sounds like a really depressing Hallmark movie. Real quick, let me grab it, Streamlabs. Thank you, James Colley, for the donation. In this day and age, quiz, a child will have a mother and father. However, the siblings will have different mothers and fathers. Today's talk would go, we decided to Netflix and chill, and I didn't pull out.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Also, oh shit, I had something, I lost it. I had a joke and I lost it. Never mind.
Sorry. Not really.
Hold on, let's look for something halfway fucking comedic before we go on to something.
Stormy Daniels has a comic book. What the fuck is wrong with the world?
Just desperation for content, man. They had already worked with the useless fucking used up bitch, so they're like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's the tidal wave. What else have they?
She needs the money too, I'm sure.
Oh my God, does she ever? Additional addendum surgeries to her never-ending series of boob jobs are not cheap, you know. Okay, speaking of Trump, over on Bounding into Comics, rumor: Hollywood studios want to ban President Trump from using pop culture memes. What?
You can't do that.
Yeah, I don't even know where this article is going to go. I didn't read it beforehand. Let's see what the fuck they're talking about. I don't even know how this would make sense.
Can't ban someone for a meme. Can't do it.
A new rumor details that Hollywood studios want to ban President Donald Trump from using pop culture memes. Trump and his supporters are no stranger to using Hollywood films to create memes to promote himself and his initiatives. Most recently, Donald Trump's campaign manager, Brad Parscale, announced the title of their political campaign is titled Death Star. The title of their political campaign is titled Death Star. While announcing the name of the campaign, he also shared a GIF of the Death Star from Star Wars. Oh, Jesus. For nearly 3 years, we have been building a juggernaut campaign. It's firing on all cylinders. Data, digital, TV, political, surrogates, coalitions, etc. In a few days, we start pressing fire for the first time. So what, like, Lucasfilm is like, you can't do that. Stop. Back in December.
Wait, is Mexico Alderaan in this scenario? I don't know what's happening.
Let me think. Are you looking to destroy Mexico, or?
Well, if you're firing up the Death Star, you're blowing something up.
Shouldn't it be more like the Trade Federation and their blockade of Naboo, if you want to do the Mexico thing?
I would think so. But then again, he could be talking about China and hinting at something that's coming up.
Back in December, the campaign, this is the one that Don Lemon lost his mind over, of him snapping away his opponents. I think that's the one referencing there. And Don Lemon was like, oh my God, what are you, children? And who's buzzing?
I don't know.
Can you hear that?
Yes, I did.
I could hear it, but I don't know who it is.
All right. In 2019, the Trump came. Okay, fuck. How are they going to ban it? Let's move on. Sanctions are coming. Blah blah blah. It's not just Trump. Lots of people are doing it. All right. Okay. One America News Network. Oh, highly credible news. Is the source of the rumor. He explains. Scooplet. Hollywood source tells me that a major studio heads are passing around a letter to sign calling for Trump to never again post meme videos using their movies. Fuck off. So it's a request.
Yeah, that is going to go over, as well as asking literally anyone to not make a meme. I mean, you can maybe get CNN to try and dox them, but for the most part, people are going to tell you, go fuck yourself. Free use, bitch.
Fair use. But yeah.
Fair use. Yeah, whatever.
Well, it also is free. I mean, you're not wrong about that part of it. He notes that some of the Hollywood studios include Disney, Sony, Warner Brothers, Universal, Lionsgate, etc. Change.org, Michael Parlett says, yeah, right. Why don't you just do a change.org petition? I want to do a petition at Donald Trump. Please stop memeing. They're really effective and we don't like it. Well, stop using our pop culture to,
how do they know he made the memes? Well, I mean, if he's using a meme, it's probably one somebody else made and he found online.
That's right. Yeah. If you want to stop people from memeing, do what CNN did. Trump retweets it, find the person who originally created, or at least someone who's associated with it, like the Trump gif of him hitting CNN over the head with the wrestling gif. Yeah, find them and blackmail them into silence. That's how a proper journalist organization should operate. You studios can't do nothing about it. What you need to do is activate your friends in the media to go blackmail the people that are creating the GIFs, or at least people that are associated with them. So you scare the fuck out of everyone with a chilling effect. That's how you do it. Being sarcastic, of course. It's just
that couldn't possibly backfire on them at all.
No.
Yeah. This is a style of thinking that's like 50, 60-year-olds would come up with. Like, let's just send them some cease and desist. It doesn't work like that for this.
It's a little boomerish.
Yep.
A little boomerish.
Well, and it's so boomers, it's going to have the Streisand effect, where Trump's like, okay, I won't meme you, but if all my followers do it, that's totally cool. And then, boom, 8 million memes show up the next day.
Well, we are talking about Donald Trump, so let's do it. Marvel Studios Hulk actor Mark Ruffalo claims toxic Trumpism is killing people.
What the fuck does that mean? Toxic Trumpism.
Science denial around COVID-19 and his incredibly poor, murderous response. It's killing Americans. That's my guess. I haven't read the article. That's what I got. That's what I'm thinking. Because, Mark Ruffalo's kind of a fucking moron. And he doesn't really think that deeply. And that's kind of like a saying that's been floating around on MSNBC, CNN, and the Twitterati. Trump is responsible for the death of the COVID-19, etc. So I'm picturing that Mark Ruffalo is just going to echo it. But maybe he came up with an original piece of lunacy. Let's find out. toxic Trumpism is killing people. Ruffalo's comments came on Twitter, where he shared a political ad created by Project Lincoln. Ruffalo wrote, quote, "Some Republicans see the writing on the wall. They are delineating themselves from toxic Trumpism." Oh, okay.
What?
The ad was shared to the Lincoln Project's Twitter feed. It reads, quote, "Welcome to this week. Nearly 90,000 American lives have been lost. The virus is still spreading, and Donald Trump continues to deny and deflect, failing the people he was elected to serve." You mean failing the people that Russia, planted, he wasn't really elected. That was a fake election, right?
No, of course. Obviously, it was rigged.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Russian plant put there to, fascistically rule over the people. Project Lincoln. Do you know anything about Project Lincoln?
It's like the 1619 project, isn't it?
Vaguely, yeah. Yeah, generally.
No idea what that is.
I don't know. I appreciate anything named after a Republican president. Anyway, the video the video features a voiceover that states nearly 10,000 more Americans will die, 90,000 deaths and growing, millions more will file for unemployment, small businesses are dying, and we are not testing enough. It's still spreading. And apparently all of this is Donald Trump's fault. Here's what else is coming this week. He will lie to you over and over. He will tweet instead of lead. He will blame others for his failures. Welcome to this week, and the next week, and the next, and the next, until you do something about it. Oh, fuck off. I mean, that is the...
Queen.
Jesus Christ, that is the lamest attempt to create a sense of urgency in an audience. You're using plain marketing tactics in your political messaging. Fuck off.
Do you think he was sniffing his own farts while he typed that?
The Lincoln Project claims their mission is to defeat President Trump and Trumpism at the ballot box. Oh, that's clever. We do not undertake this task lightly.
What is Trumpism?
Oh, that doesn't matter. It's just unfettered, badly supported support for Donald Trump, like Trumpism, like people that just blindly support Donald Trump. I've heard it described that way. If that's how they're defining it, but we do not undertake this task lightly, nor from ideological preference. Bullshit! Our many policy differences with national Democrats remain. Only those who don't oppose Trump stringently enough. However, the priority for all patriotic Americans, so if you don't agree with us, you're unpatriotic, must be a shared fidelity to the Constitution, implying that Donald Trump is inherently constitutional, and a commitment to defeat those candidates who have abandoned their constitutional oaths by not opposing Donald Trump. Agree with us?
Like Governor Whitmer in Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Electing Democrats who support the Constitution over Republicans who do not is a worthy effort. Okay.
Any and every politician should be supporting the Constitution. It's kind of their employee handbook.
Ah, spoken like a McCarthyite.
Look at this. Last night, and Christ, Michael Moore, or with Michael Moore Flint. That's who this aged lesbian is.
I was gonna say Mark Ruffalo might have been. He's pointing at him to try and ward off the charging Michael Moore, because Michael Moore is sensing a smaller prey animal and is moving forward to try and consume him with his bulk.
I took that in a much different way. I thought that was the finger that he probed Michael Moore's butt with that made him that happy. And he's like, sniff my finger. You're welcome for that visual, by the way.
Palpatine says, do Democrats support the Constitution now? I mean, the whole thing is, where are the real Americans? If you don't agree with us, you're unpatriotic. No, where are the real Americans? Shut up, all you frauds. And you got Mark Ruffalo hanging out with the aged lesbian here saying, we're in a planning strategy for the 2020 blue deluge, and we're bringing back the blue wave emoji. Get down with our emote. Hashtag resist, am I right? We're totally multimillionaires, but we love socialism. Shut up. I'm done with this article. Fuck off.
Well,
There's a reason
it's
I
so
ride Mark Ruffalo the way that I do and name multiple streets. He just fuck. If you had never hired this guy to play Hulk, he'd be a nobody. He'd be a nothing. He'd be a B actor. Like, yeah, he was in films before, but I mean, he would just be like being called at essential casting for different roles here and there. But he plays the Hulk, so now all of a sudden, oh, listen, I've got a platform, so let me promote my communist Marxist ideals to the world. Well, you're a multimillionaire hanging out with other multimillionaires to enact your policy preferences through your fucking a celebrity. Fuck you. And your fucking fat lesbian friend.
He's the very definition of a champagne socialist. He is the poster child for a champagne socialist.
So you're saying that he should have played the Red Hulk?
Well, yeah. Well, wait, no, wasn't he an American general?
Yes, but I wanted to make a communism reference.
Oh.
Don't overthink it, Quiz.
Oh. But again, here's the problem with all of this, Polly. He's not the Hulk. He never was.
Oh,
he's Bruce Banner.
He thinks he's the Hulk.
Bruce Banner is always and always will be the wimp trying to keep the Hulk in check and failing to do so. That is what he should be remembered for.
Oh, so Trump should be the Hulk.
Whatever. I mean,
we're having a very Trumpy episode.
Yeah,
today.
I think we're done with Trump for this point. I think we're done with fucking politics.
I don't even like Trump.
I mean, talk about.
I know.
It speaks to the crossover, doesn't it? Like, this is comic book curation where we talk about comic books and comic book movies, and comics themselves are absolutely inundated with a bunch of bad actors who want to promote their political ideas. It's constant politics.
Yes.
Right. You go over to CBR.com where they're supposedly talking about comic books, and it's just full of like, oh, here's this little comic that won't sell 3,000 copies, but it's got this used up whore in it, and it's fuck you, Trump. So yeah, we'll promote it. And the explanation when this is complained about is you're an alt-right liar. You're a Russian bot, and comic books have always been political because Captain America punched Hitler 70 years ago. For fuck's sake. Yeah, I think we're force ourselves away from a little politicalism. And Branko Boaz references us on Burn Hollywood Burn. Hey, nice obscure reference. I like that. Well done.
I'm okay with Hollywood burning.
Let's.
To be fair, though, the wildfires never got up that far north.
Yet.
Remember the CBR article that we did? 5 unexplained things about. It was Black Widow's body, right? A few weeks back.
Yes.
This is 5 weirdest things about Rogue's body explained. I mean, because CBR, they're still doing these. They did Captain America, they did Iron Man, etc. Let's
5 weirdest things about Beyonce's body, and it just points to the middle and it's like penis.
Man hands.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to start talking about Beyonce, for God's sake, guys.
Why? It gets you all fired up. It's funny.
All right, are you trying to intentionally entice the Beyonce's fan base, the Bayhive?
No, I'm trying to avoid provoking them because they're a weird, fucking crazy bunch, man.
I want to provoke them. Fuck them. I don't care.
Oh yeah, provoke them on my channel, you cocksucker. That's great.
Come at me. Come at me, Beyonce fans.
Come at Polly's channel. I dare you. That's great. Thanks.
Well, I want to see the headlines. Massive fan backlash as the Bayhive attacks a comic book channel.
I'm more than a comic book channel, damn it.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm going to be disappointed if they don't talk about 2 things in this, talk about the weirdest things about Rogue's body, because Rogue is is drawn and created to be one of the sexiest characters, like, period. She's hot as fuck. Which is confusing that they haven't made her like flat-chested and a lesbian, because
don't give them ideas.
She's the very embodiment of the ideal of a femme fatale, because she's got she's absolutely gorgeous to look at. She's got an amazing, very fit and toned body, but the second you touch her, you die, or
at least pass out. But yeah.
Yeah,
you can't touch her long enough to enjoy it.
Yeah, you go into a coma and then eventually end up dying.
There's
Like Cody.
If I get to feel them titties up with gloves on, I'm not going to say no, right? So anyway,
Except when she had the old lady rogue haircut back in the 80s.
well, okay. So the
I
two
knew
things
you
that
were
I
going to
want to
bring
see
up
that
Old Lady Rogue.
I'm going to be disappointed by two things. One, if they don't talk about her skunk hair gray streak and what the fuck's up with that. I mean, it's cool. It's a great character design. It's very emblematic of, her. Like, that's just the way Rogue looks, right? So it really works for her. But, what's up with that massive gray streak? Wow, gray bunch of hair.
It's called a skunk stripe.
Well, is she suffering from, not alopecia, what's it called? Where there's a deficiency of any kind of pigment?
No, see, it actually resulted from her walking under fresh paint, and it messed up her hair, and Pepe Le Pew has been after her ever since.
I was about to say, have you been watching fucking Looney Tunes recently where that poor cat walked underneath a recently painted ladder and then gets chased by the French rapist skunk?
Hey, I like how you guys both caught the reference, but let me finish anyway, knowing what I was doing.
Here's the problem. Looney Tunes is owned by Warner Brothers, not Disney.
Right.
Yeah, crossover.
No, the crossover already happened with Starfire.
Okay, and the second thing that I want to address is how is it that the 18, 19-year-old girl has a ripped body, D-cup tits, big shapely ass? Like, I mean, hey.
Polly, we've been over this. All ages in comic books are nebulous. They're supposed to be in their mid to late 20s at the peak of their physical performance, and they are locked there. Doesn't matter that Eric Lenscher, Magneto, was a Holocaust survivor in some stories. No, it doesn't matter, because that would make him like over 100 years old by this point. No, he's got to be in this nebulous, like mid 30s, still jacked fucking ass, youthful man, regardless of the fact that he's well over 100 years old now. At least in terms
listen, I understand, and they're forever, having the characters rotate between being 17 and 25, basically. Like, they'll relaunch a series and have them all be fucking teenagers, and then a different series will happen and they'll be like 23 to 27 in that kind of age range, just in the way they're depicted, in the way they're talking. Now, I get it. There's a Frozen thing, but then, Jean Grey, they revamped her back to 16 years old and stole most of the character traits from Rachel Grey because they're talentless hacks, but whatever. Anyway, let's find out what's going on with inexplicably big-tittied 19-year-old.
First of all, James Colley, thank you. If you wrinkle the pages of the Stormy comic, you not only would have an interactive comic, but also come closer to the idea of her true age.
True.
Thank you, James. And the condition is called poliosis.
Poliosis. There we go. My Patriot says it's called cornbread, Polly. Well, she is a Southern girl. She's corn-fed, and then thus the big booty and big old titties. So, yeah, Southern girls, am I right?
She's not from, like, far south, like Florida, where she's got, like, meth problem, right? She's got, like, 4 teeth and, like, how y'all doing?
Or very far southern Florida, where she's just Cuban.
Well, yeah, but that would be kind of hot in its own way. Look, as long as she's not, she's played by what, Anna Paquin in the movies?
Is that the actress's name?
Something like that. But she wasn't played by Bonk. What's her name? Ellen Page. So whatever they do with her in the movies is cool.
Speaking of Ellen Page, I watched the riff tracks of Inception just yesterday.
Okay.
She's in that movie?
Oh yeah. Oh, in a big way.
I don't know. I've never seen that movie.
Did she headbutt anyone?
Quiz, what movies do you watch? It just,
I've ruined her for everybody, because once you see that giant forehead, you can't unsee it.
Well, it is much more noticeable than it was before, but it just, her character rolls around in that film with this. It's clearly intentional with the script and what's his name? Chris Christopherson.
Big head. Oh,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, the director.
Oh,
I don't know.
Christopher Nolan. Chris Christopherson. Yeah, it's
I was gonna say, is there a convoy coming in?
he was brilliant in Heaven's Gate. Not only damned if I let you. That was Chris Christopherson in Heaven's Gate, right?
Remember
The guy with the big beard.
I know
terrible
he was
movie.
in Convoy. And Blade. He was in Blade.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was Blade's creepy pederast. Yeah.
Mentor.
It was
They're called mentors.
it was a pederasty relationship.
Whatever. At least he didn't have a giant forehead like fucking Bonk did.
You know what was bad about Blade is
Genesis,
the guy who played Deacon Frost. What's his name? Hacked actor, completely disappeared off the fucking map because he totally sucked and Hollywood finally fucking realized it. And then he reappears on season 3 of True Detective. What's his name?
Oh shit, I don't remember. I'll look it up.
Okay, hold on. Before Jack started talking about pederasty, what were we talking about?
By the way, Chris Christopherson was in Heaven's Gate.
Thank you. It was.
That chick's giant forehead.
Thank you, Brad Jones. Oh, yeah, we were talking about Inception.
Yes.
God damn it, Jack. You always got to bring it back to butt sex. What is it with you?
No, I was talking about that chick's giant forehead. And how it disturbs me. And if it haunts my days and nights, that has to haunt all of yours.
I mean, that movie... Okay.
Stephen Dorff. Thank you, Faithless.
Thank you, Faithless. Stephen Dorff. That's the guy he was in a whole bunch of movies and then disappeared and reappeared for season 3 of True Detective. And I think he got a little bit of humility about him because he was actually not being the same smug cocksucker, like playing the same character in every single fucking movie, like are playing him in the same way. Because he's actually...
Holly, it's called rehab.
Well, from the look of his baseball mitt face, yeah, he's aged about 50 years in 15.
Well,
it's
look at Tom Sizemore.
Wow. There's a...
And Michael Madsen.
There's a
Those
rough
dudes
example,
look like they've been through rehab 8 or 9 times.
Yeah.
And Ellen Page never headbutted either of them.
Have you seen Ellen Page, though? After she came out as a lesbian, she went full butch truck stop lesbian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's that forehead. You can't hide it. So she had to do something to distract from it. And dressing like a trucker from Idaho is a good way to do it.
Like, seriously, you don't want to live up to lesbian stereotypes and you're sick of lesbians being stereotyped and you dress in ripped jeans and flannel. Really?
Yeah, because then you're looking at her Daria outfit and you're not thinking that chick's forehead could go through plate glass without a single bit of effort.
You know, that's a disturbingly accurate assessment of Ellen Page. She's riding on the popularity of a character like Daria, and always has been, and always has been. That's disgusting.
If you haven't seen the riff tracks of Inception, it's definitely worth watching. It's funny as fuck. One of the funnier riff tracks out there. They What's up?
My Negasonic bonk forehead.
Damn right. I'm telling you, if you ever go back and play the Genesis game Bonk, you'll just think Ellen Page through the whole thing. Maybe Rachel McAdams if you're new, but Ellen Page all the way. She just shaved her head and put on a Captain Caveman outfit for that game.
I agree with Browncoat Boaz here. There was a moment that all of this happened where my opinion on Ellen Page changed. And it happened on live stream. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was, he says, the bitterness made her permanently old. She was kind of cute at one point. I completely agree. She was totally attractive at one point, and I remember the moment that I found out she was gay. I was standing in a 7-Eleven line, slurping my hand, and I looked down at the magazine rack that's up by the cash registers, and it was some magazine, and it was Ellen Page leaning back. She's got like a business blazer on and a bra wide open, showing off her toned abs and everything, and it said Ellen Page on Living Large and Loving Ladies, and I was like, whoa, what? I was. And it kind of ruined it for me. And she had her hair pulled down in front of her giant bonk forehead, Jack, like to kind of like cover up the massive, menagerie Star Trek aliens, the big-headed aliens from Star Trek with the thumpy vascular foreheads.
Yep. They were inspired by Ellen Page's clan.
Chris, do you know the characters I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Look up Star Trek Menagerie aliens from Talos 4. Holy fuck, I'm a nerd. I even remember the planet they're from.
It makes me sad you remember their fucking planet. But
well,
yeah,
do you know why
get your
they
point.
name it specifically in the later episode, Menagerie Part 1 and 2, where they, they can't go to Talos 4, and they say it over and over and over again. If you go to Talos 4, it's the only death penalty on Starfleet. So they repeat it. It's not like it was one line and I'm autistic or something. I just, so in my own defense.
All right, we're not going to dive deep into that one, but
it all depends, because Polly has never gone like Chris Chan after any of his statements. So
Oh, that's a good point. Look, I think I get what you're going for, and I'm calling that the Janine Garofalo effect. Because at one point you're like,
another one too. She used to be so cute.
Yep, she used to be cute and kind of quirky and nerd girl.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, what happened to you?
Yes,
you look hideous.
I completely agree. Janine Garofalo was cute and 90s frumpy in this adorable way. Like, oh yeah, absolutely, all the way. And feminism, not even once.
Right?
Yeah, man. That kind of bitterness can infect your soul. So it's funny you bring up Janine Garofalo, because I can show you and plot it. It happened right around 2001. I think September 11th made certain people go one way and another way, like politically, you know what I mean? That's when she turned into this whole thing. Anyone who opposes Barack Obama is an absolute racist, and like all the things she ended up saying, Janine Garofalo, in her later career, and all the insane choices she makes. Watch her stand up from the late 90s and the early 2000s, and then watch it recently. She's up on stage with massive plastic surgery, looking like a fucking bag lady, screaming into a microphone off of a sheet that she's holding up in front of her like it's like a small-time Marxist political rally or something, and she's calling this comedy. There's no jokes, there's no setup, there's no punchlines, there's no nothing. It's just her yelling about what she hates in the world, and it's comedy.
It's new comedy. It's nouveau comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, Gilcato's like, hey, I finally made a Polydub stream. Hey, Gilcato. Yeah, well, this often ends up missing them because the man works hard. This picture is, am I making it sexual when it shouldn't be?
What is going on with Captain Man-Verse's face?
Well, it's not like Rogue doesn't have the same face with different lipstick and different eye color. That's about it.
I gotta say, Amanda Conner is a really good artist, because this is obviously Amanda Conner's work. But I have to say this, even though I really, really love her work, and I think her style is really good, and I really like it, she definitely has same face syndrome.
Yeah, no, this looks like Granny Goodness is fighting the chick that was after the Dalmatians in 101 Dalmatians. This is a hideous image.
Oh yeah, she's kind of, if you look at Rogue here, she's kind of got a Cruella de Vil thing working.
Yeah, Cruella de Vil, that's her name.
I mean, that's
a good call.
That's supposed to be some sort of like callback to Rogue stealing Captain Marvel's powers.
Yeah, I know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like what I described.
I don't know. I like it. I think that Amanda Conner is a really good artist, and this is really, really well rendered. I mean, she definitely earns her page rate.
Hold on here. There we go, everybody.
You asked me, and I had to look it up. So
there's Jack. Is that who you were imagining when I was talking about them?
Yeah, that's exactly. I knew the Menagerie episode because they reference it in South Park a lot.
There we go. That's
I would say I think
Ellen
the face
Page without
also...
her wig. That's
I think the face says it all too. It's like barely hiding disgust and righteous indignation.
See, that was a fair description, was it? The large-headed, vascular, skulled aliens from Talos 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you do not want to headbutt one of these motherfuckers. They will crush you.
I don't know, man. With all the veins and stuff like that, I'm sure it would probably hit with an audible plap.
Look, either he's got an invincible.
What?
Oh no, did we lose Jack?
Jack just
Terminator 2.
Oh, you just cut out there, Jack. What'd you say?
I was just calling him a penis monster.
See, for those who haven't seen this episode, those veins actually pulse. Like the special effect that they did. Whenever they start using their psychic powers, their veins start going throb, throb, throb.
What you're not seeing is his scrotum legs, and he's hunting John Connor.
God damn
See,
it.
I wish I was better at special effects because I would completely cut that head off and put it on Ellen Page and post it.
Oh no, what you need to do is you just need to cut the face out and put Ellen Page's face.
I mean, I could Photoshop it, but I mean, I want to do it in CGI motion. So, like, as she's turning, the head is there with the throbbing veins and everything.
I mean, what you can do is you can take a clip and then do a still image and then do that through Premiere. It's actually fairly simple to do.
We are way off track. You know that?
Well, we were talking about Rogue's body, I think, at one point. Well, Michael Parlet says, I think that Ellen Page jumped on the LGBT train. No, sorry, that got away from me. Somebody made the observation that she jumped on the LGBT train to promote herself, and maybe she did, or just decided the time was right or whatever. But she's done 2 documentaries now, both of them about like gay issues. Nobody fucking cares, with a little production studio. Is she ever going to get fucking hired again? I want to see her penniless and insane like Janine Garofalo. Not to see her suffer, just because like you deserve your failure type of thing.
Oh my God. I've got it figured out, guys. They start out cute and quirky, and Ellen Page is still in stage like 2 of this. So stage 1 is cute and quirky. Stage 2 is like roughed up looking lesbian from like truck stops. And stage 3 is what Janine Garofalo turned into. The final stage of their evolution is stage 4 with Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
Think about it.
The problem, Polly, you asked if she's ever going to get hired again. Absolutely, and she already has.
Well, she's a big time in that Umbrella show, right?
Well, she's the main voice actress for Last of Us 2.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's Ellie in Last of Us.
Oh, so because they needed to hire a clit licker to play the clit licker in the clit licking game.
She was Ellie in the first game too, even though there was none of that in the first game.
Oh, is that the game where they did all like the nude scenes with her and it wasn't by her permission and it looks exactly like her and I totally have screen freezes of those things? What?
Yes, it is. That is absolutely a thing.
And it totally upset her because that violated my consent.
I didn't get my consent. It's like virtual rape.
Well, leave it alone, Ellen Page. There's countless men around the world jerking off to virtual you. Live with it.
She wants to headbutt every one of them.
She can try, but she'll never be able to get her head to that many places. Okay, so we got Rogue's strength. Look, she's punching a bitch. Rogue's lethal touch. Yeah, we know all about that. Rogue's brain. Oh, okay.
She's got the Karen cut there.
Well, she was always supposed to be more cunning than the other characters.
Well, harnessing other people's abilities might be a cool party trick. It does come with downsides. Unfortunately, while obtaining the powers of mutants and aliens, Rogue also copies their psyche permanently into hers, which makes her mind a crowded place to be. She's got headmates.
Yes.
Huh.
Always has. Ever since the 80s. That's the reason why she has the flashbacks to Carol Danvers and has to fight them off.
That's why when she gets really drunk, she tries to slash people with her claws, but she doesn't actually have any. But everybody just pretends, and they're like, "Ah!"
Look, if we don't take the fall, she's gonna actually punch us and put us through that brick wall.
Exactly.
Okay, so Kato says in the first game had lesbians in the DLC. No, right? And Cult of Krill says it wasn't Ellen Page playing Ellie; it was Ashley Johnson.
Really?
Yeah. Ellie was based on Ellen Page. She didn't actually play her.
Okay. There has to be. I thought there was a game that had Ellen Page as a main character.
So wait a minute. People were jerking off to her and it pissed her off and she wasn't even the voice for the character, just the face model.
Well, I think she got mad because they didn't get the forehead quite right. And there wasn't a headbutt attack.
that exploded skulls upon contact.
Yeah, I don't even know why I hate Ellen Page this much, but I just do.
I think she was super cute back in the day. She's a great example of that small ballerina gymnast type body. She just has to turn out to be such a miserable, sour lesbian bitch. Jesus Christ. It's like the old joke about vegans. It's like, how do you know someone's a vegan? Because they told you. It's like, how do you know that she's a lesbian? Because she never shuts the fuck up about it. Like, is there anything about you other than the fact you like licking snatch and hanging out with ladies? I mean, listen, I love women too. And I talk about things other than what I prefer to fuck, Ellen.
Yes,
Right?
that's not a defining characteristic of me being a man is liking to fuck a woman.
Oh,
Uh,
the game was called Beyond Two Souls.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Is that the controversy was that Ellen Page accuses The Last of Us developers of quote ripping off her face.
Gross.
Now I kind of want to see a new version of Face Off.
Where her and Nicolas Cage switch faces?
Yes.
I see. Well, I mean those screen images that I may or may not have are. I thought they were her, and the whole complaint. I didn't look deeply into the story because what the fuck do I care? But yeah, we'll do censored copies of them for next for next week's episode.
I'm picturing Nicolas Cage from Raising Arizona running around headbutting people. Calling his face off too.
Vampire punk. I'm a vampire punk.
All right, let's move on to another thing that was actually in the title of the episode. Zack Snyder confirms Justice League Snyder Cut for HBO Max. New synopsis released. You guys hear about this?
Yes, I saw it today.
So we talked about the Snyder Cut forever. Everybody did. Like, is there going to be a Zack Snyder Cut? He started filming it. Tragic, absolutely tragic life circumstances, family circumstances occurred in the middle of filming. Stepped down, and that's cool. And then what's his name came in? Another big forehead man. What's his name?
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon.
I know my forehead monsters.
Oh yeah. So Joss Whedon comes in and completes it, and it became a lot more Marvel-like and friendly, and they just turned the brightness up and the contrast down on the film, and so everyone's like, "Oh, we want the Snyder Cut," and it kind of became like the mythic thing that people were talking about. That was, we know that it's out there. We demand that you release it, and so forth. And they're actually going to fucking do it for HBO Max. It's 2021. Maybe I should just read the article instead of summarizing it. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and Justice League director was asked directly when he will release the Snyder Cut following a watch party of Man of Steel. Snyder initially answered the question by indicating the release of the film was out of his hands. As transcribed by Joe Blow's editor-in-chief. Joe Blow? What the fuck is Joe Blow? Is that like some trash tier website? I'm assuming. Snyder stated, "I'm not in control of it necessarily. It's not really up to me. If it were up to me, I would have already left it in a thumb drive in a bathroom somewhere." Holy fuck. Let's see. However, as the discussion continued, Snyder passed the question to Man of Steel star Henry Cavill. Cavill told him, "I reck you should just show it."
I think it probably means reckon.
Yeah.
Reckon you should just show
Is that like a Britishism?
Could be.
Snyder continued to play coy, saying, "I can't show the movie right now because there is a little bit to do." He then revealed a poster that reads Zack Snyder's Justice League with the HBO Max logo. And there it is. Picture has been fucking everywhere. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Apparently he got a bunch of Hollywood executives and other morons from HBO Max together. And then a couple women he was trying to impress. And then, and showed him a clip, a black and white copy of like, how are we going to go about doing this was always the question. Is there enough footage where I can like reconstruct a film using some of Joss Whedon stuff? Because I never completed the film I wanted. Is it even possible? Well, let's do a dive in it, see if we can do a 15-minute version of it in black and white so we don't have to do the color adjustments and everything. And apparently it was enough to impress them that they bought it. And so yeah, 2021, the Zack Snyder Cut's coming out, man. I'm gonna watch it. Fuck yeah, I'll go see it.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I think I might actually want to watch that one. I don't know, man. I missed it in the theater because it was one that I actually kind of did want to see, but I just didn't get around to going and seeing it. And then it was a flash in the pan. It was like everyone was talking about it, and then crickets. And then the only other time I would ever hear about it was talking about how it was a massive commercial failure.
Yeah, it was just a schizophrenic movie. It didn't know what it was. Obviously filmed by two very different styles of filmmaking and two different visions.
Yeah.
So it didn't know if it wanted to appeal to a younger audience, but there was swearing in there. So it was just very schizophrenic. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen because I've seen a lot of shitty movies, but it definitely like didn't seem to have a guiding direction to it that really needed to have.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm not one of those guys that will sit there and say that Zack Snyder is the worst filmmaker ever, and oh my god, he's so terrible. There's so many people that are online right now that will say that I don't need to. I will say that there are certain things that I think Zack Schneider did well. I liked Watchmen. I liked the Dawn of the Dead that he did. Did he direct 300? I think he
Yeah.
directed 300.
Absolutely did. Yeah.
Yeah. I like 300. There are things I like about Batman versus Superman. Does not mean that Batman v Superman's a good movie. Man of Steel is also not a good movie. That doesn't mean that I'm going to just write something off as, oh, it's Zack Snyder, it's garbage. The only director I think I can say safely that only had one movie that I enjoyed, and everything else that I've seen I've discounted just because it is that director, is Michael Bay. Because The Rock was good. I've yet to see another Michael Bay movie that is as good as The Rock.
Okay, let me show you something, quiz. Okay.
Mhm.
What we have here is
Oh no.
okay.
Did they just spell his name like several times?
No. This is what you're saying. Schneider. Okay?
Yes.
His name is Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
We not Schneider. Snyder.
Schneider.
No,
Schneider.
it is not Cool Whip. Okay.
Yes, it is. It's Schneider.
No,
Oh.
it's Snyder. You're putting a CH in there. Schneider and Snyder are two different names.
Zack Schneider.
Snyder. Look. Let me show you a picture here. Okay. This is Schneider.
Hold on. What is this? What am I looking at?
This is Dwayne Schneider from the TV show One Day at a Time.
Okay.
That's the only man on earth allowed to be named Schneider.
Okay, so
Right.
so what you're telling me is that is Zack Schneider's father?
This guy looks like
No.
a 70s gay icon. What are you showing me here, Jack?
It is from a 70s show
Was
called One Day at a Time. This is Schneider. He's the maintenance guy. It's like the super for the building or whatever.
See,
Look.
faithless. Stop being Schneid, Polly.
So Snyder is a director, and sometimes some writers are named Snyder. I've never met anyone named Schneider that didn't look like this dude. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I mean, when you're saying look like, yeah, you're absolutely right, because you have Rob Schneider that kind of looks like him.
Rob Schneider is Rob Schneider. Zack Snyder is not Zack Schneider. Okay.
Yes, Zack Schneider is Zack Schneider. They're related, Polly.
I'm glad Browncoat's with me at least.
Stop being Schneid. Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay, so a little bit back.
It's like Polly. I get the feeling that you've never seen that Willem Dafoe meme. Hold on, let me find it real quick.
Okay, in the meantime, what are you looking
Man,
at?
we are all over the place tonight.
Okay, Mike Perlett says more Gal Gadot thighs, and I'm in. I hear you. I hear you there. And unlike a lot of people, I go against the grain. I loved Batfleck. So, and I will never get my Ben Affleck directed Batman movie. None of us will, because everything went so awry that he fucked off, and I'm done with this shit. And that's sad. So the closest you're going to get to Zack Schneider's vision of
Thank you. Yeah, you're finally coming around to my way of thinking.
No, that was mockery. Will be this Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm gonna go see it. I mean, no, I'm gonna go see it and be excited about it. Why the fuck not? Absolutely, because I still think that Batman v Superman wasn't as bad as people say. Hold on here.
I've gotten you with this one, Polly.
What? Oh, shit. Everything just fucking
Oh,
collapsed
no.
on me. Hold on. Ah, God
I
damn
hate
it.
Hate it when that does that. And you move one window and everything just collapses.
Okay,
down.
yeah.
Oh, I hate
Trolling is
that.
an art. You mean an art?
Trolling is art.
Yes.
Don't you remember when I got you with that, Polly?
I do get the reference, yes.
I literally said that to Polly once. I said, trolling is art. And then Polly unironically goes, you mean an art? And then I started laughing.
Wow.
Got all kinds of backward shit happening here. The world's falling apart. OBS is crazy, and I need a new computer.
No!
Okay. So yeah, the Snyder Cut's coming out. Yay! I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this will be probably the time that I actually watch the Justice League movie.
Functional talked about Bryan Singer. Fuck, there's a name I haven't heard from in a while. I mean,
Isn't he the dude that directed the first 3 X-Men movies?
Isn't he the dude that was like accused of like touching young people?
yeah, he came under fire with the whole pedophile thing in a big way. I hadn't heard shit from him since.
And killing people with his car after like the second movie or something.
Of all potatoes, if you
nobody
get a
cares about
5-second scene with Gal Gadot naked,
What?
then it would be better than any Marvel movie. Well,
Well, yeah.
I may or may not have a few deep fakes. Anyway, moving on. Man,
Well,
that
she
was
a model
interestingly
before she was an actress.
when deep fakes became available, Gal Gadot was one of the first people that they did that with. It was, I don't know why, but yeah, they're not bad. Let's see. I want to see what Jeffrey Combs has to say about this. Speaking of large foreheads,
You leave that man alone.
Jeffrey Combs is great. He really
He's
is.
a national treasure.
I don't know if I go that far, but he's pretty fucking awesome.
No idea who he
Reanimator?
is.
Yeah, awesome.
Why has Paulie not
He
yet
was-
taken his stream drink? What, Matta? I've been drinking this whole time. But
Maybe
Drinking-
Ellen Page bonked him.
Star Trek alumni Jeffrey Combs, who played a number of characters on Deep Space Nine, did he ever? Voyager and Enterprise, recently commented on the chasm between what fans want and CBS's desire for Star Trek. Combs has played some of them, blah, 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 blah. He also portrayed, yes, on Voyager, yes. Combs' comments come a day after CBS All Access announced their new Avikava Goldsman-led Star Trek Strange New World series. My God, they're going to do it again.
Strange New Worlds, huh?
Yeah. I got an article to follow up with this where we talk about that specifically, but
Is the next Star Trek series after that New Worlds and New Civilizations? Or no, sorry, New Civilizations. And then the last one is going to be To Boldly Go.
It's all about the janitorial staff. Worf keeps clogging up the toilet.
To Boldly Go.
Boldly going. Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you, Vol Potato, for the donation. Am I the only one that thinks a Nazi Snyderman diagram when they say Zack Snyder or Rob Schneider? What the hell's a Nazi Schneiderman diagram?
I assume it's something to do with Nazis.
Of all potato, you're way ahead of us on all this. We don't know the diagramming as well as you. I mean, I know plenty of fucking diagrams from quantitative analysis, but Jesus Christ, I've never heard of a Nazi Schneiderman diagram before.
Well, now I'm pitching a Venn diagram with Zack Snyder and Schneider from One Day at a Time. And where do they overlap?
Oh, I got excited there for no reason. Cult of Krill said Combs also voiced Ratchet on Transformers Prime. I was supposed to say, in the original Transformers animated movie? Oh, no, Prime. Never mind. I was like, Ratchet was like old man voice, and I was like, wow, Jeffrey Combs is a brilliant actor because Ratchet totally sounded like an old man.
I just gotta say, man, Prime is actually not a bad cartoon. I found myself enjoying the shit out of any episodes I caught.
Reanimator Functional's talking about. Jack, you saw it in the theater, right?
I feel judged. The fact that I have seen all the awesome movies from the 80s in the theater, I don't know. You guys are just jealous because
My jealousy is not a question here. We're-
Hey man, I saw Reanimator in the theater. Granted, it was an art house theater long after it was its original release. But yeah, no, I've seen it in the theater.
Oh, good.
Oh, of all potatoes, so it's a programming thing, the Nazi Schneiderman diagram. Okay. His comments, meaning Jeffrey Combs, came after a fan noted that he has been part of a number of Star Trek shows in the past. Right. Combs would jokingly say, "Since I was 12, wow, you learn something every day." Comparing him. Jack, who's this? What character is this?
Isn't that the original Doctor?
Well done. Well done. I am impressed. Yes, it was the original Doctor under Captain Christopher Pike. Mark. Fuck. I forget. The character's first name is Mark, but I can't remember his. Yeah, he brings Captain Pike some liquor, and they drink in his quarters. They had a pederastic sex affair afterwards. Another fan would express their desire to see him either on Discovery, Picard, or Strange New World series, and blah 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 blah. He would respond to his fan by writing, "Thank you, nice thought. But the chasm between what the fans want and what the studios want make the chances of it happening slim to none." And Slim left town. Whoa.
Damn, that's a pretty big condemnation of the studios.
Whoa.
Okay. Not wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he's wrong at all. Oh, there he is an Endorian in it. As a fan of Star Trek, Jeffrey Combs' comments, though realistic, are heartbreaking. That's a fair assessment. However, given that they are making Star Trek Strange New Worlds with a return to optimism, there might be some hope for the franchise. No. I'm sort of black-pilled on the whole situation now. I'm a diehard Star Trek fan, but Trek canon ended with Enterprise. That's my headcanon now.
What if Brave New Worlds ends up being really good?
I will easily admit that I'm wrong and be very, very happy, because it would be a shocking, though welcome surprise. Yeah. I mean, they actually did something that wasn't like just really, really bad. Like, but people talk about the social justice aspects of these shows and the fact that they're not in line with Star Trek, like in terms of the themes and the look and the character typologies and so forth. All of those things are true. I'm not disagreeing with them. But in and of themselves, they are bad. Like, in terms of just writing. Like, somebody who writes scripts in terms of your classic 3-act storytelling with, your inciting incident, the conflict, rising action, climax, denouement, conclusion. Even if you don't follow that basic thing. Like, I'm talking just general writing. They're bad. If you watch Discovery episodes, it's like, what the fuck? They end at weird times in the middle of the story. You thought like it was like rising action. You're looking at the clock thinking, what's going on? And then the show ends and you're like, that's it? What? Okay? I mean,
they watch more like fanfic. Like some high school or college freshman wrote a Star Trek script and somehow managed to slip it in place of the real one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's read a little bit about the spin-off Strange New Worlds here really quick, just to kind of see what we're talking about that Jeffrey Combs will not be involved in. Star Trek and CBS All Access recently announced the Star Trek spin-off Strange New Worlds. The series will see Anson Mount, Rebecca Romaine. Ooh, nudity. Let's do Star Trek nudity. Rebecca Romaine?
Famous.
Not anymore. And Ethan Peck.
Not in my head canon.
So you eternally want her married to John Stamos?
Yes.
That's weird.
I don't know why.
Do you have some 3-way fantasy with them?
I mean, John Stamos is a handsome guy.
Well,
I mean, if I could cock John Stamos, holy shit, that'd be awesome.
Mount will return as Captain Christopher Pike. Romaine returns as number 1, and Ethan Peck reprises his role as Spock. The announcement was made on Twitter, YouTube, and other social media platforms with Mount Peck and Mount pecking Romaine. They then go on to thank the fans and express their excitement for the new series. Peck then states, "You asked, we listened. It's happening." Romaine adds, "Wow, there's so many nude scenes in this new series."
Sweet.
Yeah. Mount then
And they all involve this guy Inquisitor, and for some reason my ex-husband is sitting in a closet eating Greek yogurt.
Mount then states, "Speaking just for myself, I've
Fruit
never
at the
received
bottom,
more love from a
bitch!"
fan base than I have from the Star Trek family." Romaine adds, "I can't wait to put on that Gold Starfleet uniform and deliver #1 right along with Captain Pike and Spock."
Oh, God,
I made that dirty.
You did not. Yeah, well, no, that sounded pretty dirty. Is that what it actually says?
Yeah, literally. What
Yeah,
it says, yeah.
deliver #1.
Wow. Spit roasted #1.
Ugh.
Got dark.
I mean, when it comes to Rebecca Romaine, unless you, I mean, most people that are involved in comics, they're just thinking of her in the original Mystique getup with the tiny little pussy patch covering, you know.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Wowie. Wow.
There is no, like. See, here's another thing, right? I've been asked about the X-Men movies, the new ones versus the old ones, right? I think Functional asked me on a Minion stream, asked me about the which one I preferred. And now, mind you, I've never seen any of the other ones. Surprise, surprise! I know. I've not seen any of the like Days of Future Past or First Class or any of those.
right.
But there is not a universe in the multiverse where Hunger Games fucking
J-Law, go on.
J-Law, that's it.
Yeah.
Will even come close to Stamos. Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
You're just thinking of John
Stamos.
Well, that
never
too.
gonna
Yeah,
be
no.
John
Like,
Stamos.
I'd fuck John Stamos over J-Law.
Well, his neck is less weird.
All right.
J-Law's disgusting, dude. She's like a 4 at best.
There is lots of strange stuff going on. We got Quiz talking about fucking John Stamos. We got Cult of Krill in chat talking about he wants to watch Rebecca Romaine piss.
Don't forget the T-1000 penis monster.
Yeah, what the hell? We've created a degeneracy stream here.
Degeneracy stream. We're just gonna explode. Polly's gonna hit the self-destruct in about 2 seconds.
To be fair, we missed last week, so we had to make up for it.
Holy Christ! Okay. Let's see. Let's cover this. The Deerkin, because of course we're going to. I mean, somebody asked way earlier.
Hold on, let me see if I can find my gifts real quick. I've got a couple of gifts in particular that are pretty apropos for this. And if you want, I can send them to you on Discord so that you can put them as a piece, so that you can put them up like a Sangi.
Oh, right.
Whenever you need to talk about a deer person.
Right.
Like, when I first saw this, I thought those were little bear ears, like Mr. Bigglesworth's costume in South Park.
And sorry, Shady. I know Shady's been trying to avoid seeing this, but sorry, Shady.
Vol Potato says Polly Monkey just started streaming. Well, when does he not? And that's the hard part. Twitch CEO Emmett Shear issues statement on Ferociously Steph. Love that name. And the Safety Advisory Council's role. It's lie after lie. What? I get sort of an opinion piece here, John F. Trent. It's lie after lie. What is this, a CNN article? In a lengthy blog post that appears to have been crafted by a lawyer, Twitch's CEO Emmett Shear issued a statement clarifying the role of their Safety Advisory Council and defended the newly appointed member, Ferociously Steph. Well, there you go. She ain't going nowhere, y'all. She's endorsed by Twitch, as she says, and you can't touch her or stop her.
Yeah. But you can suplex her.
And you can also point out that female deers don't have antlers.
Adindro pointed that out in his video. I love it so much because it's true.
Hmm.
But again, yeah, you can suplex a deer. I sent you the GIF in Discord DMs, Polly.
Yeah, I see it running there.
Well, why would you want to suplex a deer?
Have
Bam,
you
he's having a midlife crisis.
have you seen any of these ferociously Steph videos?
I watched like 3 of them and I was like, I can't take this. I seriously, when I first saw this, I didn't read any of the context. I just watched a video of this person being like petted
Yeah,
and having some
deergasm, yeah.
sort of deergasm. Yeah, I
Mhm.
didn't realize what was happening. I thought it was a cerebral palsy kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is mean. Why is someone
That's
putting this up?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a
And
really good point.
I'm the dick for saying that. Yeah,
No, you're
thanks.
not. No, you're not. You're accurate, is what you are.
The blog post comes after ferociously Steph detailed that she would use her newfound powers on the council to target people she deemed shitty people. Stated that she believes a lot of gamers are white supremacists, and claimed that voice chat is part of systemic misogyny because she's a woman. The post begins by attempting to clarify the role of the Twitch Safety Advisory Council. In their original announcement on May 14th, they declared the council would inform and guide decisions made by Twitch. They went on a list of a number of activities that they would advise on. Yeah, I'm sure this made all the Twitch gamers happy. Drafting new policy and policy updates, developing products and features to improve safety and moderation. Bullshit. Promoting healthy streaming and work-life balance habits. Protecting
What does that even mean?
Yeah, fuck off. Protecting the
What are you, my
interests of
doctor?
marginalized groups. Like trans deerkin? Identifying emerging trends? Like trans animalism?
Deerkin?
Yeah, that would impact the
Like,
Twitch
people
experience.
No, the trend they're identifying is people fleeing Twitch.
Yeah.
Now that they are claiming the role of the councils to advise, offer perspective, and participate in discussions with our internal teams pertaining to the work we do to help keep our community safe and healthy. Stop saying safe, safe, safe. Like, you make it sound like people are actually being attacked and violated physically.
Oh,
Like,
they
and
are
murdered.
with mean words. Jeez, Polly, words cut like daggers. Don't you know that?
Jesus,
An adult cannot be bullied.
It specifically notes that council members will not make moderation decisions, nor will they have access on any details or on specific moderation cases. That doesn't really make any sense. How are they supposed to help develop product and features to improve safety and moderation if they don't have access to details on specific moderation cases? Yeah, I think this is like, just fuck off. They're not really going to be doing anything that you guys think they are, but they totally will be. Can you just shut up? We've got a deerkin on our council and she's not going anywhere. Because she totally thinks that voice chat is just sexist as fuck. How are they supposed to draft new policies and policy updates without seeing exactly what Twitch is doing? Maybe even more interesting is that the blog post attempts to put distance between the members on the council and Twitch. However, like their claim about moderation, it doesn't really make any sense. The post reads, they are not Twitch employees and they do not speak on Twitch's behalf. But no,
Tell that to Dear Girl, because she's already said that Twitch endorses her.
Well, I was just going to say, she never said that she was employed. She says that I'm endorsed by Twitch. So I'm on here. I'm doing what I did before, but now I have power to fuck over people by what? Saying this person's problematic and this person's problematic. And now you're going to get red flagged. That's my guess on it. She said, you can't stop me, and got up and danced around like an autistic 12-year-old, which is how she acts and talks.
I believe when deer do it, it's called frolicking, Polly.
We value the opinions, and they have the right to share them. They are independent actors who will have opinions that aren't shared either by Twitch employees, or even by other members of the council. Then why are you endorsing it? What do you even want them for? Why aren't you just opening up polls in general if you want to know what the Twitch community is saying? How many people on Twitch is the transitioning deerkin representative of that you need her there? For fucking real. Like, seriously, what microscopic demographic is this person representative of that you couldn't do without her?
I can hear all of Tumblr weeping as you say these things.
The blog post then tries to excuse Ferociously Steph's comments by claiming she was harassed. Well, it doesn't specifically mention Ferociously Steph, it quite obviously is who they're referring to. Excuse me, Jesus. It reads, harassment directed at council members or anyone on Twitch only underscores the importance of the council. We do not condone bullying or harassment of any kind and will continue to take on action against the accounts who engage in this behavior. This is the precise activity that everybody fucking pointed out. Me, Quiz, Jag, everybody were talking about it. It's somebody gets up. It's somebody who says most of gamers are white supremacists. I'm constantly being harassed. I'm part of a marginalized community. I want to get rid of voice chat, which is, I'm not even a gamer, and I recognize what a massive part of gaming that is. That it's exclusionary, etc. We need to get rid of it. So this is an insulting person who's a weird, fucking strange person that does not represent the majority of trans people by any stretch of the imagination. She's out there eating grass to get in touch with her dear self. For Christ, her words, for fuck's sake. And then this person, after getting your endorsement, gets up, dances around saying, I'm coming for people who are shitty people, in my opinion, and you can't touch me, you can't do anything about it. And people launch attacks at her and make fun of her as the internet would, because she's dancing around saying, you can't touch me, and you miserable fucks construe that as fucking harassment. She's begging, come after me, you can't do anything about it, neener. And then so people do it. She enticed them to. And now that demonstrates the need for the council in the first place. That is a textbook example of circular logic.
Yeah.
Look, Polly, you're using voice chat right now, and that is super ableist. So your words mean nothing.
Like, the lawyer who wrote this, I was like, lawyer, you're a violent person. You're a very violent person. No, I'm not. Slap them across the face as hard as you can and call them a bitch. And then watch them grab you and say, see, proof you're a violent person.
Yeah, you have to incite the violence out of them. It's like cleansing demons and shit.
It's when you incite the kind of action, you create a council that's designed to stop an action that the council itself then becomes self-justifying over. Are you fucking serious?
Isn't this how Marxism works, Polly? Come on.
It's nuts because I hate the fact that they've come out and put out this ridiculous statement saying things like the person on staff doesn't actually have power, right? That they're just they don't endorse, we don't endorse what they say. Well, then what they've said should be proof positive that you should be getting rid of them, because they're claiming that you do.
Yes.
Publicly.
Yeah. But they don't. But it doesn't really it doesn't really make a difference. Like, I think whatever the council was intended to do before is exactly what they're intended to do now. I don't think anything actually has changed. I think this is just a statement like they realize the very minor overall PR problem that this is. I mean, who's making fun of this really? Just people like us. That's it.
Yeah.
And people on Twitter, but Twitter's like a fucking sewer, so who the fuck cares? Like, yeah. Twitch as a fucking platform, the majority of people on there are watching people game. They're actually not watching e-thoughts. They're actually not watching this dear otherkin. They don't know about this council thing. They're not calling people fags left, right, and center where they need to be censored. I mean, that's the majority of Twitch. This is a minor bump in the road for them. But they noticed it, put out some fucking statement saying, oh, well, here's this thing we're redefining or clarifying it. No, you're not. You're not doing anything fucking different. All their policies don't make any sense. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, there's not a need for them to retract anything really, because this council is still just in the quote planning stages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they've not actually come out and done anything yet, but the fact that people are having this social media backlash means that they needed to address the problem. But how do they address the problem and save face? Well, they do that by saying, well, it's not going to do what you think it is, even though we've just demonstrated that it is. And they don't endorse us, even though that person says explicitly that we do. We don't actually endorse them. Now, here's the fact that they don't have the power that you think they do. Now, let me demonstrate the fact that they do. And is this truly just a massive pay no attention to the man behind the curtain?
just look at shiny thing if that's what you mean by it. Like, yeah, just don't worry about it. It's fine. In my opinion, I think that they fucking hired this person. Like, lots of people wear animal like cat ear headphone sets, for example.
Yeah.
I think that's all that was going on from Twitch's perspective. She's a very loudmouth person who's an activist on Twitter and talking about transgender. And they heard that she's transgender. She has the trans flag behind her when she's streaming. She's the one who lobbied for a transgender flag emote, which she got. So they're aware of her as a transgender person that constantly never shuts the fuck up about how she's transgender. That's all they knew of her. I don't think the fact that she wore antlers raised any red flags for them. They didn't know anything about her background. They just wanted to put an activist on there to say, see, gay and trans representative on Twitch. And then they found out, holy shit, this person's talking about eating grass and she's having deergasms on stream. Why didn't we know about this? Well, they can't fire her. Like, well, kick her off the council. It's not like they get paid. They can't.
This is very transphobic.
Yeah. You can't get rid of this person outright. Say, oops, we didn't actually vet this individual very well.
Well, that's the thing. I'm giving them their out. She is running around saying that you endorse her when you say patently that you don't.
But I hear you.
That's a fireable offense.
I hear you, and that makes sense to me. But then this is also somebody who spends all their time talking about how voice chat is exclusionary, even though on Twitter her friend said, here's us at a LAN party just a few years back using voice chat. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, no, that bit was even weirder because it was the fact that Dear Girl said that they placed second at some big tournament where they didn't even place third.
Yeah, they were eliminated in the second round of competition. Something to that.
Yeah. I have a solution for this.
All right.
All they have to do is find somebody that identifies as Elmer Fudd and have him hit her with their car.
What? Why?
She's
not a rabbit person. What?
No,
yeah,
she's a deer. Deer run out in front of cars all the time.
Yeah, but no, for an Elmer Fudd though,
they do.
She needs to be either a rabbit or a duck, preferably a duck.
Well, no, because Elmer Fudd's kind of retarded, so there'll be no criminal prosecution. They can all just look the other way and plausible deniability.
Yeah, but when did Elmer Fudd ever hunt a deer? Come on.
We don't know. We only see him during rabbit and duck season.
And that would be rabbit season. Thank you very much.
Wabbit season, my bad.
Nice.
But we don't know what he's doing during Dweer season.
And I forgot to turn the Noir Bar pop-ups off, but fuck. One week I'll remember to get on that. But thank you, Zuriel, for the $5 donation. She identifies as a human female and as a male deer. Also, this is for the new potato fund. Yeah, she's male human to female human that respects her male deer. What'd she call it? Deer self.
Well, the problem with that is that after I think people started realizing that, her antlers changed. Now she's got doe antlers.
Okay.
Like she's got little nubs. Like little tiny nubs.
Did you know something that Far pointed out to me that I hadn't noticed before? Her deer antlers were in the color of the trans flag.
Yes.
I didn't notice that till Far said it. I was like, Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah, the flowers are in the colors of the trans flag. Yep.
Gilcado said, and I've heard people mention this before, that maybe she's a Poe. Just not a good time to break character, seeing how far the act can go. Well,
no, it's been going on entirely too long for it to be a Poe.
Like Jack says, like in response to that I'm not really sure, I can't tell anymore. I hear that, but I don't buy it. I've seen this person talking in clips, and she tweaks way too authentically for someone who's putting on an act. If she picked the wrong career path in life, being a Twitch streamer, and should have went into acting, because it is a highly believable mixture of psychological issues at play just by the physical red flags that she puts off.
You could say something about the fact that she's constantly smiling about stuff that she probably shouldn't be smiling about, but at the same time, that's just an extreme personality trait at that point. It smacks of someone who has absolutely no hubris.
Or a psychopath.
I mean, it's someone who thinks way too high of themselves. Someone who has way too much self-esteem.
I bet she's got first in show participation trophies all over the place.
Madam Winter makes an interesting point. She says female deer can grow antlers if they have higher than normal testosterone levels. In most cases, doe's testosterone levels are far too low for full antler development.
Yeah.
Shh, Madam Winter, don't let her know that. She's going to interpret that as deer transgenderism. Like, you don't. Like, I was born to be a male deer, but I was born in the wrong doe body. I hear you. I understand your point. It's valid.
Oh, it's other way around.
Just shh.
How dare you? You don't know how many deer gender there are, Polly.
I was born a buck, but in a doe. No, I was born a doe in a buck's body.
Right.
And the worst part about it is, like,
they ruin everything. It's these. And I know I've said this before, and I'm kind of beating this drum to death, but I don't care. The people I feel bad for are not really Twitch gamers. It's fucking trans people. Imagine somebody like a trans person. It's like, oh, you're transgender, yeah. Oh, so what animal do you identify as? And it's like, what? None. What are you talking about? It's the bad association. Like, you found a freak, somebody who needs therapy. Like, and you put them out as a representative of trans people, so you'd had some trans representation on your council. This is who you fucking picked.
Polly, you will accept the trans deer penis as a real thing. And look, this person looks like somebody that would lower a basket into a well and say it puts the lotion on its skin, or it gets the hose again.
Why must you bring that up so often? What is it?
Because it's an awesome reference. You want to whenever you talk about a really weird person, Buffalo Bill fits it.
Yeah,
and it's a great analogy that everybody can relate to.
I'm just saying, man. With Mannix R73 that they drew of me on Twitter, I'd fuck me.
Considering Buffalo Bill's voice in that scene saying "I'd fuck me" and listening to Deerkin's voice, I don't want to see her look into the camera and say "I'd fuck me."
Do the little dance with the robe on.
Yeah, we'll robe off.
Yeah, holding it out like it's Spider-Man's webbing underneath the arms.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the dance. Mm-hmm.
Well, in a
goodbye horses.
In a final note on the transkin there. If you don't know what we're talking about, or specifically some of the clips that we were referencing and some of the odd things that this person said in terms of eating grass and your white supremacist and then the deergasm and all of these things, I just posted the link to Sinatra's video on her, him, they, it, doe, a deer, a female deer in chat.
Ray, a drop of golden sun.
Exactly. And Sinatra uses all of those clips, and it's a really funny video. So if you want to see sort of all the clips that we're talking about and understand who the hell we're talking about, that video does a good job of covering all of it. And it's also just good for some cheap laughs. All right, and that brings us to the end of our articles. It is comic book pitch time. So who would like to go first?
I'm ready if you want.
All right, let me just embiggenate the screen here.
Okay. So mine is written by Steve Pugh. I think that's how his name's pronounced. Pugh. Penciler Phil Winslade. Inker John Dell, and color Chris Chuckery. Mine is actually part of a miniseries, like a big event sort of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
My pitch. I have to do the entire screen because I can't do a window. So, Convergence, Harley Quinn. So what the story of Convergence was, it was a massive event that all of the different multiverse universes in the DC universe were brought together in a sort of battle royale against each other. So you had things like the Flashpoint Paradox universe. You had the original DC universe pre-Flashpoint. You had like all of the different kinds of universes, right? This one in particular, this Harley Quinn, is from the Gotham City Sirens original Batman timeline pre Flashpoint Harley Quinn. And what happens is that there's this massive power that pulls all the universes together, and they have a battle royale style free for all where champions of different universes have to fight other champions from other universes, and the victor gets to stay alive and the losers all die. Well, who do you think is the universe that is chosen to fight the original Harley Quinn here?
Star Trek.
Jack, can you tell me who? Let me just stop sharing here real quick because I got to bring up issue 2. Can you tell me just by the cover, Jack, if you know who this character is?
Captain Carrot.
That is who Harley Quinn has to fight. It's Captain Carrot.
Does he have his amazing zoo crew with him?
Yes, he does.
Awesome.
And here's what was the name of the boar again? It was can't remember his name.
Oh, I don't remember.
But yeah, here's Harley isolating him in an amusement park and bashes his head in and paints
That's
rabbit
dark.
season in his oil blood on the fence.
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I say mainly because Captain Carrot is like this. He's essentially Superman, but a rabbit. Because the if I'm remembering correctly, Captain Carrot comes from a universe where everything is an anthropomorphic animal of some kind. Right?
Yeah,
and he's their superhero. And yeah, it turns into a battle royale between Harley Quinn and Captain Carrot. And the series is amazing, I just gotta say. And of course, right up here you can see the zoo crew. The people who are chosen to battle are Harley Quinn and Captain Carrot. And to stop the zoo crew from interacting or interfering on Captain Carrot's behalf, Ivy gets Catwoman and Poison Ivy from the Gotham City Sirens to come over and mess with them to get them to stop. So yeah, overall, I had a lot of fun reading these 2 issues. It's only a 2-issue series inside of a wider context crossover event. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with Harley Quinn Convergence.
Damn. All right. Jack, would you like to go next or shall
I could go.
All right.
I went with something a little different for younger people, and that's the Crimson Scorpion. This is a new book from Antarctic Press. It's a 3-issue miniseries. This character was introduced in Exciting Comics, and he basically got bit by a scorpion and got these weird powers in this kind of cool-looking outfit. But there also emerged an arch nemesis for him, which is the Black Scorpion. The Black Scorpion's a psychopath, but he's just learning how to use his powers. But the Black Scorpion has this like ghost scorpion on his shoulder that talks to him. Now the art is pretty rough because this is an Antarctic Press book, but I thought the story was fun and it would definitely appeal to younger readers. And there's like
worse. I've seen worse.
Yeah, oh yeah, we all have. But it's a lot of people aren't going to like it because it's indie style art. But I really give a good leeway for this sort of thing with some of these unknown titles. And it's got like this criminal mastermind guy who's behind the scenes trying to manipulate things, but they didn't count on the Crimson Scorpion. So it is a fairly violent book in many respects. Like, I don't know what's going on here with this stance. Like, what is that stance? But the bad guy looked cool. Crimson Scorpion's costume looked cool. I thought the story was fun. It's a good intro to the characters, and it's a relatively new characters, so it's kind of hard to screw them up. But it would definitely appeal to like I don't know, 10 to 14. So if you're looking to get somebody into comics, this seems like a good one to get in on. You get in on the ground floor of the character, and you get to see like some actual intrigue stuff with all these people that are conspiring, and you get to see him learn how to use his powers, and he's got this big badass villain. So I thought it was fun, and I thought it would be a good book to bring in new comic fans, like younger people that want to read comics. So that's why I chose this one. It's not necessarily for people like us, but it's definitely something you could give somebody that wants to get into comics or might be into comics as
It
like an
looks pretty
intro.
cool. It looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it looks like a fun adventure story.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it was. It's very straightforward. It ends on a cliffhanger, and it's got some gruesome stuff in it in a way because there's a little bit of blood, but that would definitely appeal to younger me. The only downside is this artist does not know how to draw a woman's face, and it's kind of annoying. But other than that, I thought it was a fun story. It's got a lot of action in it, and the bad guy is like a psychopath, like he cuts people apart. But it's not gruesomely done. It's not organs all over the place. So it'll appeal to that level of age group, like the PG-13 crowd.
Hmm.
So that's my pitch.
Cool. All right, and get out there. I am pitching Silver Surfer #1, the original 1968 Silver Surfer #1. I read this because COVID lockdown, which is thankfully coming to an end soon. So I was going through old comics and came across. I was going through my Silver Surfer collection and came across this one, and I was like, you know what? Holy shit, this is actually really good. It's a Stan Lee, John Buscema, Buscema, original, like Sentinel of the Spaceways, as he used to be called. This is a long comic. Like, it is not a short read. The pages just keep going and going. It introduces the character in the sense that he's like heroic and noble. He saves a couple of people early on. I mean, this is some late 60s art. Look at this awesomeness. It's great. It's so wordy. It does tell his origin story as he starts thinking back, as you would expect from an issue #1. So you get his history on Zenla and all of the lore associated with there. Galactus shows up. Norrin Rad, as he was known before he was Silver Surfer, was a scientist on his planet, and he's got this whole beef with the governor general on the planet and his own father trying to live up to his example. And then Galactus shows up. Hold on. Look how long this comic is. Look how many pages I'm having to flip with just the background story of this guy. And here's his woman, Shallow Ball. I don't know how to say that either. See, look, I'm just flipping pages, trying to get to. Finally, when Galactus shows up, it is a long read because back in the day, they would charge you 10 cents and give you a hell of a lot of story. It is so worth reading this comic. It's classic 60s old style comic goodness. I mean, what more could you ask for? You have this comic, or you have this cosmic being, Galactus, show up and threaten to eat his planet, and he has to do the noble thing of, I will be your herald, and I will find you planets to eat and satiate your eternal appetite if you just spare my planet. But that means he's going to have to leave his planet behind, and his entire life, and the woman he loves, and his family, and his job, and everything. But it's worth it. It's worth it to save his planet, and he does so. And this is the introduction of Galactus. You'd seen him before, but after the characters were introduced in Fantastic Four, both Galactus and Silver Surfer, who is this guy? A spin-off series, and this is it. Silver Surfer, Sentinel of Spaceways, #1. No, not 10 cents, 25 cents. And it's absolutely fucking worth it to read. It's available in collected editions. It's available as a standalone issue on Comixology. It's available from perfectly legitimate sources if you're that kind of person. Yeah, by all means, check it out. Awesome stuff.
Now, there will be eating, though, right?
Of course.
Oh, okay. As long as they're eating for at least 3 or 4 pages.
They're eating, and he comes out as an otherkin. Now, it's not any animal that you're associated with because it's an alien planet, but that's fine because gender is an infinite spectrum, which involves animals somehow.
Cool.
Animal genders.
Yes. That brings us to the end of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to everybody for showing up. Thank you to Evolve Potato for posting our links. Thanks for everybody keeping the chat lively and engaging in all the fun conversation that we had and listening to us be, well, jackasses for like a couple hours. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have fun with comics. I mean, God forbid that a stream have some comedy in it, you know what I mean? And not everything can be a gripe fest. Although we do gripe a lot for comedy-oriented.
I think that people find our griping funny, so I'm
Yeah.
perfectly willing to accept that.
I'm going to try
We're
not think about
cheeky.
that too much. Yeah, cheeky.
We're cheeky and cute and not miserable, sour bastards like everyone else. And thank you for the donations, everyone. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
So there it is, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Jack and Quiz, for being here. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Read more comics.
Well, watch my videos and then read some comics.
Watch
Yes,
Jack's videos, then read some comics. Read more comics from Quiz, and read old comics. That's my suggestion. And I mean like 90s and back, all the way back to like 1930 pulps. And once you start reading old comics and you see just how fucking good they are, you begin to understand where the Comicsgate original consumer revolt came from, because comics just got bad. There's a reason we're upset, because it used to be really awesome for decades and decades and has fallen the fuck apart. Sad. So there it is, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you very much for the donations. It is greatly appreciated, and we will see you next time. Laters.